discourteous.
All right, we are live. Finally, Boa. Welcome to the 26th episode of Screaming into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. With me today, I have my faithful co-host, Cat Likes Video Games.
Yes.
And our guest today, Ryan from Legion Games 2076.
Also, first in the chat. Suck it, Lawrence.
Nice.
I saw you sent me that comment, and I was like, "That is all caps."
I sent it. I took screenshots of that whole conversation and sent it to both of you.
It's so funny.
Wait, so you guys are probably in these chats for this live stream at like what? Eventually, people are going to be in here like 10 in the morning, just to be the first one here.
That's assuming I get up early enough to set this thing up at 10 in the morning.
Yeah, I was about to say, I only hopped in because you tagged me on Twitter. So obviously that was like, because he says his notifications work faster. Larry said that. He's like, I got the best notifications on the channel. And so I was like, well, technically getting tagged on Twitter for the stream is the first notification.
Yeah. So, all right, let's say hello to the chat. We have Bo Omega. Good to see you, buddy. I see Caucasian Sasquatch with us. Shadow, buddy. I love you.
We love
$20
Shadow.
is $20, Shadow.
It is. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna spare him this week, mostly because it's taken too long to bring that up. No.
Hey, Shadow's my friend. It's cool, Shadow.
Yeah, he's a good kid. We got looks like Joker Voice is in the chat with us. Good deal. Yeah, who else we got? Kohai's in here somewhere. I know she is. There she is. And then Logical Spock, good to see you, buddy. And for briefly, we had I'm not going to bring it up on screen because he gets touchy, but Lawrence Knight was in the chat.
Ow, my foot is asleep. Ow.
So, but
you gonna show a little ankle?
No. I learned my lesson after you guys told me about FootWiki or some shit like that.
She showed wrist last night on Friday Night's Royal Rumble.
I show wrist all the time.
Chat with a lot more wrist than that. Chat was
for shame.
Hey, at least no guy. Every now and then, it hasn't happened in a while. Every now and then, some Muslim guy will come into my live stream and be like, "Haram!" And I'm like, okay. I'm like completely covered.
We had so Amira was on a broadcast that I don't know if you guys know who Undead Chronic is.
Mm-mm.
All right, so he is he's on like his 14th channel because he keeps getting nuked.
Oh God.
Yeah, and
that's like me evading Twitter bans.
right. But he's on that like hard MGTOW, repeal the 14th kind of deal. Anyway, so him and Amira are friends, which drives his audience nuts because she's a woman. and yeah, so it was she did a stream on with him the other day, and there were like his chat was the word haram was shouted by like half his chat for half of the damn interview because she wasn't wearing hijab. And because her husband was allowing her to be on the internet talking to a man she wasn't married to.
Oh God, not that argument.
Yeah. No, it's just most of these guys are a bunch of jackholes, as far as I'm concerned. MGTOW, like I agree with some of the talking points, but these guys take it so far that they become the same thing that the feminists do on the other side when they go too far.
She's not even married, right? She just has a boyfriend?
No, she's married.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I thought she said my boyfriend on the stream one time. Anyway.
I think she was making a joke.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Because no, I was like, that's weird. Why are they getting mad about something that's clearly not? But anyway, even if not, public figure or not, it ain't anybody's business. No,
frankly. But yeah, but she's married. Her husband allows her to, like he has no issue with her being online. If he did, she wouldn't be. It's that simple, So, So the haram thing came up. So like the last time she did a live stream, Larry and I started like posting haram in the chat just to fuck with her.
Like I said, I had it happen a couple weeks ago, and then a while back though. Then Micah Curtis guy's back at it again. Not Micah Curtis. It's the guy who wants me to hate Micah Curtis. It's not Micah Curtis. I actually contacted Micah Curtis.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So that is not the topic for today. We're going to talk about gaming today because the three of us are, gamers. Obviously, sorry, Joker voice. I know that it bores the shit out of you, but here we are.
He was so salty last night. He's like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, dude. I'm like, look, everybody's got to suffer a little bit, all right?
But on top of that, when you think about it, the story.
He says, all right, I'm out.
No, but I mean, the thing is also when it comes to video games, a part of the whole woke stuff and everything going on in entertainment happens in gaming as well. And like, for example, with when I'm angry with the Destiny 2, it's the story, which is something even he can relate to in a way. The story of Destiny 2. Putting aside the fact that it's a video game, it's a woke story. You can actually relate to that. Or the effects of the wokeness that has on gaming just in general. It's another form of entertainment. It's like I don't do D&D very much, but I can see the effects of the wokeness on it. And I tweeted at Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast. I tweeted at them race. I
saw that. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Is it like, we can't say the word race anymore, you fucking morons?
Orcs are a reference to black people. And it's like, what?
No, orcs are a reference to orcs.
Yeah.
Which are not human.
Nope. Like, and there have been several articles about this too. And it always, it settles around like, Wizards of the Coast or like Lord of the Rings. And you're just like, what? Like, who the hell thought that was this value? Yeah, those damn orcs, man. They look like black people.
Yo, JV, I read that as Antifa Sarkeesian.
Oh, I hate that woman with a passion.
Yeah. Real quick though, if you are actually planning to dip out, you got to stick around for this little bit. So,
don't be a
Ryan. You thirsty, buddy?
Yeah. I did that last night on purpose. That's so great. That's after I showed the photo, right?
No, actually, this was from last week. She got this to me Monday. We've been trying to work it over to an MP4 format so I could put it up on here.
Oh, I thought that was from last night because I showed the one of like, the microphone looking like a big old dildo, and then I just slowly went. Look, I'm a realistic guy. I'm a clown on the internet. Like, we're here to have fun. Like, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing too, is like you get these people get so butthurt about, they memed me. It's like, so
well,
big deal.
It's part of the package deal, man. You put yourself out on the internet, shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to let it roll off you like water off a duck.
Oh yeah.
Because if you can't do that, it's gonna bury you.
So I'm afraid to know what you guys are gonna do with the whole bro jobby thing.
Yeah, I got I do have something. I do have a preliminary thing from Kohai. I haven't uploaded it yet, but she's working on a better one. So
something tells me you're gonna put a mustache or something on me.
I think they should.
That's not a bad idea, like a Snidely Whiplash,
giant beard on you, so you look like a Muslim man. Maybe like I'm trans Muslim.
Oh,
my God, she probably get death. She probably get threats of violence over that one. To be honest,
like the Jack Murphy beard.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, that'd be that'll be fun. So I don't know what her plans are for that. She is working on something. She sent me a preliminary last night that was pretty amusing, but I haven't uploaded it yet or anything.
Does she have a Twitter?
I have no idea. Kohai, if you have that sort of social media, let me know, and I could probably put you in touch with some people who are real keen on memeing the shit out of YouTubers. Ryan knows a bunch of them personally, so does Kat.
All three of us actually have had quite a bit of interactions with the Legion of Memers, and if you continue on the path you're going, I think you got just all you got to do is, if you got a Twitter, tag me, tag Samuel, and trust me, the work will do itself.
Oh, you got Instagram. Okay, that's might be able to work with that. Yeah.
Make a Twitter. Twitter's fun again.
Yeah. But yeah, it's they do great work, and I think that you'd probably be a great addition to that. I think they're the Legion of Memers are actually streaming right now.
They were earlier, but yeah, I'm assuming they're probably on the tail end of their stream.
Yeah, they had I think they had Adam Krigler today.
Yeah, they had Adam Krigler. They had Comics Division, I think last time they streamed. Maybe this time, I can't remember. But no, they're good dudes. Yeah, they get wild, man. They get wild.
Well, I'll say this though, because I mean, I noticed. So one of the things that people were going on about is that Hive thing, and yeah, that Hive thing is like dead. I've just out of curiosity signed up for it, and
Hive.
nothing.
It
barely works.
It's not. Is it called Hive?
Yeah, one of them is called Hive, and someone I was following.
There's also Tribal. There's another one called Tribal.
That one's new, and that one. I mean, talk about your on the nose names, right? You know. But you guys in the chat, I see a couple of you saying that that Ryan here made you get a Twitter. Did he hold one of these to your head?
Yeah, he did. No, well, he's the one who made me focus on my Instagram, which I haven't been on in ages.
I did because I was like, I'm not making another Twitter. Fuck this. And then I was like, then I was like, all right, I made another Twitter.
Well, it's funny because Ryan gets me to sign up on Instagram to get into contact with him, and I'm like, but I don't want to do Instagram, and he's like, no, do it. So I did, and like 2 days later, you started a Twitter account. So thanks so much for that.
Yeah. So I have the Instagram.
Well, I keep getting nuked, and of course my first ban was wrongful. It was I shared a meme on the president's page that was made by somebody else comparing him to a certain supreme leader, so I didn't make it, but I got banned for threats of violence and or violence against a group of people, and I'm like,
how is that threats against Nazis?
Yeah. Anyway, so I had a secondary account which I had made before the ban. They flagged that account saying you can't ban evade, and I'm like, I didn't ban evade. If you look at when I made this, which is not hard, I was here before. So you broke your own terms of service. This is before Elon took over. I'm like, you violated your own terms of service. I threatened to sue them, like what's his name? Who's the guy?
I gotta make a second account then, just in case.
Anyway, but long story short, they have continually denied the fact that I was like, I should be allowed to be on this platform. This account didn't violate anything. It was my main one, and I have not banned evade until literally the last 2 accounts, this one included.
The whole thing is arbitrary. I mean, I think it's getting better, at least for the time being, but you know, it could always backslide. It could always go the other direction. That said, I'm not doing a second Twitter account. I get nuked on there. Fuck it. I'm done. You guys, my email address is on my about page on YouTube.
Yeah. Mine.
You know, it's the easiest way to get a hold of me anyway. I actually do check that relatively frequently.
Honestly, though, what's funny is my feline.revolution at Gmail. Every time someone sends me an email, it gets put into my trash or my spam.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've had a few of those happen.
So honestly, all right, fine. I'll admit it. I have an email address, corpus.viso@gmail.com. Don't make fun of me.
And that's where you can send all the feet pics.
No feet pics. No feet pics.
What if they're my feet?
No, feet are gross. The only feet I like are cat paws. Human feet are gross. They're smelly.
Mine barely look human.
Poop.
Then she licks them and they're nice and clean. So the moment she steps in the poop, she gets off the poop and she starts licking her feet and she cleans them up.
There's already feet in the chat.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting
no.
feet pics.
Oh no.
No. The only reason I like the idea about fur is because it's freezing, and I wouldn't mind being covered in fur because it's cold.
Don't lie. Kat, you go to FurryCon every year.
Yeah, how did you know? Yeah.
I actually think I had former coworkers that went to FurryCon because they were telling somebody, they're like, "Oh, we're going to
Hey,
Las
Zillage.
Vegas and we're going to this convention and stuff like that." And the only convention that was at the time in Las Vegas was FurryCon. And I thought I was just randomly talking to it as a joke with another coworker, and he's like, so and so went to a convention last year and it was in Vegas. And I'm like, was it at this time of year in this month? And he's like, yeah, I think it was. And I'm like, they went to FurryCon. He's like, I'm not surprised. They're weird as fuck.
Yeah. You know what Chow would say if he were here and he knew about the current fuzzy topic. Furries are everyone's problem.
Mm-hmm. They're weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what? I have to say this. As of right now, you do not see anybody going on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram going, I identify as a furry, respect my pronouns, and giving some kind of animal pronoun and dancing around on TikTok or doing any kind of ridiculous kind of thing about being a furry. Most of the people who are furries don't do what a lot of other people are doing these days. And you go to your furry con, you have fun with your furry thing, and when you go back to work, do not come to work in your fursuit. Do not expect me to refer to you by your furry name. I mean, yeah, I get it. Zillage, I can't pronounce that. You're right. For the moment, the furries are keeping to themselves. They're not demanding respect for being furry.
I literally just typed in furry in the Twitter search, and there was 670 tweets.
Yeah.
What?
Hey,
what?
Don't go any further down that rabbit hole. You will not.
I
like what
do
you
not
find.
want to go down that further.
Boa, I think that's just an affectation of YouTube. It's blue in the YouTube chat. It's brown in the StreamYard chat. It just, I don't know. I think that's just tis what it is.
There is one of an actual kitty where it just says furry, and so that's kind of cute. But yeah, that's about as far as I'm going.
Yeah. No, furries are
stuff like that's like a car wreck. You just can't help but look. You're like, why am I looking at this?
Help. I could really help. I'm not looking. I didn't even look it up. I'm no.
Oh my god! Never mind. I don't want to talk about this topic. There's somebody on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch who she's actively she's an investigator, and she's trying to ban all the really really bad stuff that people do with CP on Twitter. And she retweeted something to Elon Musk. She's like, this needs to be banned now.
Oh, you're talking about Liza Blue, right?
No. She's one. But I was talking about BX Bullet TV. Okay. Yes, she's So anyway, I literally I clicked on it. I went to the top of the page and immediately like reported it. And like just even the first initial, like I was just like, oh my god, this is disgusting. And it is. It's a real problem. I didn't realize how bad of a problem it was until Elon Musk and all this stuff started coming out. I think Twitter was protecting these weirdos.
Well, a lot of it, because you see all these guys getting on there saying like, oh, this wasn't a problem because I never saw it in my timeline. I was like, well, then you weren't looking for it. This is like black market internet shit. It's not stuff that they put out on the open. And yeah, you could occasionally stumble across it, but like they were saying, they permanently got rid of several hashtags that were used explicitly to share CP.
Yeah,
and see, I have, and if you weren't in the know, you wouldn't necessarily hit upon those hashtags.
Yeah, and see, she actually got blocked by one of them after reporting another site. She's like, she shared it. She's like, oh, you saw I was coming, huh? And so I typed it in a search, and I was like, I'm not blocked. And I'm like, reported. And so I tagged it because that's gross. It's fucking gross. Sorry, I don't know. We're talking.
No,
about
I agree.
Twitter.
No, I agree. And they did prove it at one point. Didn't you hear about the recent Twitter leak file stuff where they're like, Jack Dorsey's like, no, that's not true, and Elon's like, actually, they're saying you did not have anybody working on CP. Why did it take so long? Now how long has been Elon Musk has been in charge, and he's already drastically cut it down?
A month.
Interesting.
That actually reminds me. I stumbled across a tweet last night. that I bookmarked because it was an open letter of three women who here. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah, did you see this one too? They were
No.
they were resigning, and this is why they were resigning, because they were on that commission or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Uh,
and they
Uh,
support.
No,
What
they
the-
were saying that they were doing all this stuff. They
yeah,
were
they
they were
said,
trying to prevent that. They were on the
oh,
Safety and Health Commission or whatever.
yeah.
Trust and Safety Council. So it says it's from Anne Collier. Three of us resigned from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council today, and it lists the names of the people. Here's why, and there's a link to a thing, but uh, let's see if I can bring up a little bit more detail there. Maybe.
Zalej says in the chat real quick, I still can't believe how ill-informed Jack was.
No, I'm pretty.
He was a billionaire at the time. Dude was probably too busy getting fucking stoned, looking like a hippie, and sitting in his whatever igloo or fucking teepee out in the
Right.
woods, finding the animal spirits. So no, I'm not saying that Jack is innocent, but he's
No,
far
he's
from
not.
innocent. He's definitely complicit in being, you can still you can be ill-informed, but if this shit is happening under your nose, you're still culpable. And
Yeah.
Well,
so
he was head of the organization.
Mhm.
So even if it was
Yeah.
happening under his nose, it's still his responsibility, legally and financially.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't get to buy your way out and say, hey, I mean, I didn't know. It's like, look, Jack, okay, fine. I got a little bit of sympathy for you. Maybe you weren't the villain we thought you were, but it's like your ass was still fucking too blind to rein your fucking people in.
Yeah. So we will get to the gaming and the fun stuff. We kind of got derailed as per usual. I want to go over this bit by bit because it's fucked up. So it starts with members of Twitter's Trust and Safety Council resign in protest against Elon Musk's safety messages to date. We are announcing our resignation from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council because it is clear from research evidence that, contrary to claims by Elon Musk, the safety and well-being of Twitter's users are on the decline, which is bullshit, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of this is bullshit. The question has been on our minds: should Musk be allowed to define digital safety as he has freedom of expression? Our answer is a categorical no. Now, they just made an argument for why Twitter shouldn't have been operating the way that it was.
Yeah.
Like right there. Like, should they be allowed to define it as they have freedom of expression?
Yeah.
If it's no for Musk, it's no for them too.
Yeah.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. So Erliani Abdul Rahman and Anne Collier have been members of Twitter's Trust and Safety Council since its inception in 2016.
And a
Erliani-
Muslim is on this list too.
Well, an Arab. I don't know if she
No,
was.
Abdul Rahman is a Muslim name.
Well, okay.
Yeah, Abdul Rahman is definitely, because Al Rahman is a name of God. So Abdul Rahman is probably a Muslim. Very, very likely.
Also notice that Trust and Safety Council since its inception in 2016.
Squatch, I think that's a great question. I don't know. It might not. Honestly, at this point, it could go either way.
I'm going to say this. It's going to put a lot of pressure on them, because if Twitter starts innovating to where it's starting to try to do stuff similar to like Rumble and YouTube, as well as being a communication platform of social media where you can monetize videos in what you would call shorts or stuff like that, and you're not silencing voices, but everybody has the freedom. Yes, it's going to, because it's not Rumble. Rumble is starting from the ground up. Twitter also has an established name. Elon Musk has a very established name. So yes, it'll put a lot of pressure on I'm going to say what's his nuts? Facebook guy. See, that's how irrelevant he is.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg.
Borg.
Yeah, especially after his interview on Joe Rogan, you fudging butthole.
Right. So real quick, Boa, the I don't know, so Elton John left Twitter, And he made a
Oh,
big
yeah.
huff about, like, honesty and all this stuff. And Az made an excellent point yesterday on Friday Night Tights about this. This is a man who's bitching about honesty, and yet he married a woman.
Mhm.
Super gay, Elton John.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Like Liberace gay.
Yeah. Like everybody's known he was gay for 50 years.
Yeah.
But he married a woman, and he's so hung up on the honesty of Elon Musk. That is a good point. Yeah, Az is great. He's fantastic. I actually reached out to him once too. So I'm
I
gonna
would
try it
love
again.
I think he's another one where email's best.
Yeah. No, that's how I've been doing it. But also, I
Okay.
think it would be a great show if we could get Kat and Az to have a rant off.
Oh,
Mm.
I would love to meet Az just to tell him, you know what? You want to know why? Because Az was the one who came up with the new name for the Xbox. So he thought of the Xbox Series X should be called the Xbox Phoenix. And so I added to it, I said the Series S should be called the Xbox Scorpion. And I even told it to someone from Microsoft. And and
Oh.
and she actually liked it. She's like, those are great names for it. So I would be like, Az,
Don't give advice to the enemies.
Yeah.
Microsoft takes your guts too. Trust me.
All right, so there's 3 pages of this, so let's get through it. So these two have been members of Twitter's Trusted Safety Council since its inception in 2016. Erliani was the first female representative from Asia and had served on the council's Child Sexual Exploitation (CSE) Prevention Advisory Group.
and
has
clearly
been-
did a terrible job at it. Sorry.
I don't think she did a goddamn thing. Anne has been working with social media platforms on youth digital safety for more than 20 years and
Good
served on the
job for
Twitter's
you.
council, Twitter Council's online safety and harassment prevention group. We know that even after the resignations and dismissals of thousands of employees, there are people working at Twitter who care about reducing hate speech. That's not a thing. It's speech.
Not a thing.
And protecting users on the platform. We are deeply saddened by this decision because Twitter has been a place of joy in many ways. Since fucking when?
Because they had their echo chamber where they could say whatever they want to the people of another opinion, like saying, hey, you should delete yourself in Minecraft. And then, of course, like nothing would happen. Nothing would happen.
Yeah, Horny Alf said something about these people getting joy from the misery of others, and I don't think that's true. I think joy is a foreign fucking concept to them. I think that they get high from it, but it's not joy. There's a sense of temporary euphoria, but again, not joy.
Because they get to act like tough guys.
Yeah.
Like to where when you and I grew up, if you would say something shitty to somebody, there's a good chance you're gonna get punched in the mouth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jennifer Lawrence did create the internet. In fact, Al Gore stole the idea from Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, I believe it.
Weird. Okay, so place of joy in many ways. Our work with fellow council members, interacting with our professional networks, and supporting the public discussion about our respective passions. The passions, of course, being CP. Bestiality, furry stuff, encouraging bad things. Despite a lack of acknowledgement on the part of Twitter's new ownership, we would like to acknowledge the hard work of all members of its Trust and Safety Council over the past 6 years. I mean, I'm sure there was at least one person on there who was trying to do the job, but I'm all equally sure that they got throttled by the others.
Well, yeah, it's the one girl that survived, right? She's the head of it now because she was the one saying to fucking what's his nuts, who is CEO, like, hey, this is a problem. He's like, go away. Like,
yeah. Let's see. Caucasian Sasquatch says, I had a guy try to convince me that we need hate speech laws. I handed him a doll and okay, asked him to show me where the bad words hurt him. That's a good answer.
No, I don't trust any person who's a minority who says that there should be any kind of censorship, because the people, if you're a minority in this country, freedom of speech is one of the greatest things you have, because it allows you to speak up unpopular opinions. So,
Kat, would you rather live in the United States or Iran?
United States. Though at this point, at the rate things are going in the United States and what they're doing with kids and stuff, Iran is becoming a little tempting. At least they're not. I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Of Saudi Arabia. How about Saudi Arabia? Let's go in between.
And Saudi Arabia's got its issues too.
Yeah, but
just be glad you don't swing the other way, or you might learn how to fly.
Mm-hmm. Max is sending cookies in the chat.
Look, all right. Maybe no. One of the greatest things about it being in America is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of choice. Now, there's some things that we are losing shame. I had a thought that we were becoming too tolerant. That some things that we should not tolerate, we are starting to tolerate. But no. If for no other reason than I don't think I could get Red Bull in Iran or Saudi Arabia. But no, and I value my freedom, and I would not want to live in Saudi Arabia or Iran unless things really get out of control in this country. Then it's like, I mean, you'd really have to push me to want to leave this country, and I'd probably end up in Egypt, which has a lot more freedom than Saudi Arabia and Iran.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico's pretty damn free, but it's also a very hostile place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you got a 50-50 shot of making it big there and ending up in an oil drum on fire. So yeah, it's a rough. Mexico these days is a lot like the old West once was, with the wrong people running things.
Mm-hmm.
And they run roughshod over their own citizens. It's fucked up. That whole situation is. All right, so the establishment of the council represented Twitter's commitment to move away from U.S.-centric approach to user safety, stronger collaboration across regions, and the importance of having deeply experienced people on the team. So the first part of this is huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
Move away from U.S.-centric approach to user safety.
It's a U.S.-based company. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, this is why people, on Twitter and on YouTube and on various social media sites get contacted by those sites for violating laws in Germany when they've never fucking been to Germany.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. Yep.
Or Pakistan or China or wherever,
Wait, is it true that you can, because of that, you can like end up getting arrested in Germany? Like someone was saying, I don't know if I was right or wrong, but someone was saying that they're giving you a warning so you don't get arrested so now not to go to Germany because you could get arrested.
I mean, that there may be something to that. What it says to me is that it's taking a globalist approach, a citizen of the world approach to something that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And applying laws from places that do not apply to the people that they're throwing that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole thing. But the fact that it is a US based company, although we have my way, I mean, I say we just break off all of Silicon Valley along with the rest of fucking Southern California and float it on over to China. They'll be much happier there. And so we.
I think California would love to honestly break off from us if you really want my honest opinion. I think the majority of them probably hate the rest of the US's guts. So,
I mean, there's another option. We could just sink it.
It's probably gonna sink itself not too long down the line.
Yeah. So this US centric shit. This is globalism. This is and they've stated multiple times that they're commie as fuck. So all right. So that last commitment is no longer evident. The last commitment being the having deeply experienced people on the safety team. Because Musk fired all the people who were on there and brought his own people in.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, oh, they don't have the experience. So wow. It's like, well, that's true, but that's like saying that, a politician needs to have experience in politics. That's not necessarily the case, because when a politician has experience in politics, that just makes him a bigger douchebag.
In a sense, then you kind of put out their AOC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Which I have to be honest, you know what she is, and she would literally probably want to bite my head off for saying this. Honey, you're the Donald Trump of the left. You're good at marketing. That's it.
Oh my
That's
God,
funny.
you're right.
That's
You're-
funny. But you're telling me that juicy booty has no experience manipulating the masses.
Oh, she's a bartender. Of course she does.
You know, I mean, she used to mix drinks for tips. Please, like she knows exactly what she's doing. It's very very similar.
And in her husband or whatever the hell he is, like I have a feeling that's probably a beard
Yeah.
for him, not her. She's like, oh look, she's like
Hey,
a
Amanda.
gay man's not going to put his hands on me in a bad way. She's like, so I'll marry him.
Right.
Like that dude is gay as fuck. You've seen the videos of him? The dude is wow.
Yeah. We got Amanda Souders just come into the chat. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in the chat in a while.
I'll just say though, I mean, one of the things I'm getting the impression that things are much more safer on, like when people now report that they're getting death threats and they're reporting them, the people are getting suspended, like something that wasn't happening before. Like libs of, I remember seeing something like I think from libs of TikTok where they're like, yeah, we got threatened and they banned them. Whereas
In the
before,
past, wouldn't happen.
if it was if a right leaning person was getting threatened, it wouldn't happen. So I feel like Twitter is now safer because I know that if someone actually does send a threat at me, I can actually report them and not have to worry that nothing's going to happen because of it.
Yeah.
There's go ahead. You started first, dude.
Oh, I was just agreeing with her.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say there's a big difference by saying, I think you should blow your own head off compared to I know where you live, and I'm going to show up to your front door and I'm going to.
Yeah.
There's a difference. One is actually illegal because that is a credible threat of violence. The other one is just telling you to go basically jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
Which I can say go jump off a bridge doesn't mean somebody's going to go jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And that's why I think that they're full of yakip because it's like, no, actually, I feel safer on Twitter now than I did before.
I think the Alex Jones thing is that I think Elon Musk realizes there's probably a limit right now to where because he's being investigated by the government, even though that's horrendous and it's disgusting.
Well, there are a number of people who are not back on. Alex Jones is just the most high profile one.
Yeah. So I think Elon Musk is saying what he needs to say to not try to drum up too much controversy because he's already probably at almost max.
Yeah, I mean it's probably controversial enough that they recently let Sargon of Akkad back on.
Well, I mean the Twitter files, the releasings, you're outing a lot of people who were not previously known for what they were doing. It's legitimately, I would say our government is like is like the mafia, like it literally is, and you're doing dangerous stuff.
Well, it is. I've long said that governments are nothing more than like gangs on an international scale.
No, but this is on a level that is I did not even think was like, wow.
Yeah. So, but all right. So the last commitment is no longer evident. Now they were talking about the deeply experienced. Now it gets into that a little bit. Given Twitter's recent statement that it will rely more heavily on automated content moderation, which means more algorithms running the show. Algorithmic systems can only go so far in protecting users from ever-evolving abuse and hate speech before detectable patterns have developed. First of all, again, hate speech is not a thing. I don't care if several, like Boa pointed it out earlier, Kanakistan, as he calls it, is chock full of hate speech laws. So is the UK. So are actually a lot of the countries in the West now. It's not a thing. I don't care how illegal it is. That's not a thing. It's all speech is speech.
Yeah.
You don't have to like the fucking speech. I don't. There's a number of things I hate hearing. I hate just putting this out there. I fucking hate the words Merry Christmas. I do. I can't stand it. It drives me fucking nuts to hear people who don't know me saying shit like that to me. But you know what I do? I say thank you and I move the fuck on.
Yes.
Because it's absolutely their right to express that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I have found that they don't mean it the majority of the time people mean it. They don't mean it in a bad way. Like I've been told Merry Christmas by people. And it's like, I know the vast majority of the time people aren't saying it because they're being mean or they're trying to be rude. They're trying to be polite and they don't know what to say.
Which is again why I move on. And even if they were trying to be rude, those two words are not worth getting into a fight over. They're just not. You know, and the fact is it doesn't change their right to say it.
Yeah.
You know, even if I wanted to, like, there was an expression that my ex-wife used to say that she was told by one of her high school teachers, I think, many moons ago. And he was right, is that my right to swing my fist ends where your nose begins. You know, I can swing my fist all I like. In this case, this person can say Merry Christmas all they like, you know, and I can get huffy about it, but you know, I don't have the right to start a fight over something like that. You know, and even if I did, it's a petty thing, man. It's not worth it. You know, so hate speech is not a thing. I don't care where the fuck you are in the world. Anytime somebody says hate speech, what they mean is suppressed speech.
Yeah.
You know?
And it honestly makes me it makes me not want to travel places in the world, because it's like you're running the risk of very Yuletide. You know, it's like I'm not a fan of happy holidays, but it's like, you know, because I grew up saying the opposite, but it's like,
right,
it's still somebody wishing you well. Like, so why would you get bent? You know, so they're on the opposite side too. There are Christians who get bent out of shape, and I'm like, they're wishing you well, dude. Lighten up, Francis.
Right. You know, like when I was younger, I used to I used to get real bent out of shape about people saying they would pray for me or asking if they could pray for me or whatever. This happens a lot with like born again Christians and such. And sometimes they'll just say it for no reason at all. Sometimes they'll say it because they think you need it, or because, you know, they feel for you, or whatever the reason is. It doesn't really matter. And I used to get so bent out of shape about that because it bothered me that they would go, basically tattle to their God on me. You know, and but the older I got, the more I realized that them doing that, you know, serves a purpose for them and doesn't hurt me any.
Yeah.
You know, so it no longer bothers me. You know, it once did very much, but now I'm just like, okay, do whatever you want. You know, that's fine.
You know, and this is something that actually something that's irritated me inside the veteran community too. Like when people say they find out that you served in the military, you know, people say thank you for your service, and there are some people like going, don't thank me, and it's like they're trying to be nice, you jackass. Like it's literally them just expressing they appreciate what you did. You can take it however you want, but to get nasty with somebody is just, because there are dudes that get bent out of shape. Don't thank me. It's like, okay, guy, like going like,
you did some time in the service, didn't you?
Well,
yeah. Well,
so
thank you.
See, and I just tell people it was my pleasure. I loved it. I enjoyed myself. I miss it at times, to be honest, but I'm too fucking fat to go back in.
He couldn't get enough of the killing.
Couldn't get down baby killers. I've been called a baby killer on Twitter.
Yeah, but probably not because you were in the military. Probably for other reasons. I mean, I've been called a P word because I got into a fight with the Keffels. Don't do that.
Why would you even get involved with that person?
I blocked. No. The thing that gives me great pride is I blocked her first. Normally, Keffels who block you first. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna waste my time anymore, and I blocked her first. So I have Keffels blocked. I don't know if Keffels has me blocked. But...
yeah, don't mess with Keffels.
I'm not messing with.
Yeah, bingo, Squatch, bingo, right there. Something my own mother says many, many times and has my whole life is that in order to be offended, one must first take
give a shit.
Offense.
Yeah,
you have to take offense. Being offended is a choice.
Yeah. I had some dude who this is a while back is all like hot and bothered like about the fact, kept calling me a bigot, and I was like, I do love the bigotry. And then of course he retweeted, he's like, see, he admits he loves bigotry, and I'm like, you are such a loser, dude. Like what the fuck?
You do no
shout out. If you really want to know, email me and I'll give you the rundown. I'm not getting into it on here because we do not want to draw the attention of the devil.
No.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
I made 2 videos when Nick Rekieta got banned on YouTube, and I didn't catch any of the crowd, but I did have some interaction on Twitter, and they're interesting. Stay away. Just stay away from him.
Yeah.
Just don't
Leave him alone.
I mean, frankly, I think Cavill should be up on charges, but
Yeah, I agree.
but outside of that, don't fucking interact with this person.
They're crazy.
Or
They
their
are
legion,
crazy.
legion of psychotic friends.
Oh my god, they are crazy. They are absolutely crazy.
So, all right, let's see where we're at. We've got statements from both Anne and Erliani on here. Having followed the research on youth online risk since 1999, I know how hard it is for platforms to get it right, honoring users' rights of protection, participation, and privacy simultaneously. But some progress has been made in the industry. Tragically, the research shows that Twitter is going the opposite direction, and I can no longer find a reason to stay in tacit support of what Twitter has become. You mean like open and free, right?
Yeah.
There has been a bit of an increase in douchebags who no longer feel constrained, but the fact is it's their right. And I would argue actually Twitter has become more civil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've had civil conversations with people I absolutely disagree with in recent weeks on Twitter. People that would have it would have degenerated into name calling within the second tweet. Prior to this.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's actually become more civil because the left are starting to choose their words more carefully.
Well, because
when they do, they have to start thinking about what they're actually saying.
Yeah. Like I actually reported which I rarely report a tweet, but this a person of darker skin color decided that it was acceptable to call somebody we'll just say a COON to another person of darker skin color, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm like, you're not going to get away with this crap anymore. I'm tired of it, dude. Like he's been on the platform a lot where he said a lot of horrendous things to people. And I was like, you know what? I just might actually report this one, which is rare. I rarely do that, but I don't think that's cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes me a little bit of a bitch, but I don't know. I think it was a little bit. I think it was a little bit of a comeuppance in a sense. Like, you know what? Just ease up, dude.
Man, I think that's something you got to take on a case by case basis, like you would in person.
Yeah.
Like in person, like is what they said egregious enough to warrant a punch in the nose?
Yeah.
No.
If it's not, then don't worry about it.
I just, it's one of those things that somebody can go out of the way to literally, blast me and, blast me until they're blue in the face. I don't really care. Never fly with Ben Shapiro.
So,
Yeah, he might destroy the left wing.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's a pretty good joke. Yeah,
it's a dad joke, but I like it.
I like it too.
I take issue with the with the phrase "dad joke." I take issue with that. They're not dad jokes; they're good jokes.
Yeah, but they're like super corny.
Take it with a grain of salt because it's coming from a dad.
Well, I tell dad jokes too because I'm super fucking corny. Like, trust me. You can ask my closest friend, but yeah, no, I think they just call it dad jokes because they're like semi lame, but at the same time, it's like that's funny. It is, and it's like, yeah, it's funny,
right?
So Ben Shapiro, recently I listened to Ben Shapiro, and he actually, because he was talking about the whole Supreme Court thing coming up, and he's like, the Constitution doesn't protect you against discrimination. That to say that you're not allowed to discriminate goes against the First Amendment, which it was actually really interesting to hear it from the way he put it, where he's like, the market will decide. So if you want to have a store that you ban a certain type of person from, well, a store across the street from you will not, and just the market itself will weed you out. And he's right. You can't force people to accept things. It was really interesting.
Well, and that's exactly what what's trying to go on here. They're trying to force acceptance. That's not how acceptance works. It's got to be voluntary. It's not really acceptance. It just it's whole thing is just I don't know. I hate this world, and I wish nothing but syphilis for it.
At this
got
point,
plenty.
no. I mean, listening to these people where you're like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? You don't understand. I mean, because I literally had this argument with my dad when I was like very young, and we were talking about the whole drawings of the prophet, and I'm like, well, why can't we make it illegal? And my dad's like, because today your popular opinion today who could be the unpopular opinion tomorrow. So I'm
Mhm.
looking at these people who are like, oh, hate speech. Well, what is hate speech? I mean, like you said, hate speech is free speech. How far? I mean, it's such a subjective thing, and it's like I hate these people so much. I'm tired
Well,
of these people.
you make a great point there too. Is that what what you go along with today absolutely will be used against you tomorrow.
Mhm.
You know, and this has been borne out in history again and again and again and again, because it's what happens. You know, and the absolute hubris and short-sightedness of this bullshit, you know, just boggles the mind.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, that pendulum, it never stops swinging. It'll swing back this way, and eventually it'll swing back the
Back the
other
other
way.
way.
You gotta do what's best for everybody,
Yep.
because otherwise, if you're just shilling for one side over the other, eventually it's going to come back around where the other side has power again, and they will take whatever you did to them and apply it to you twofold or more.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. And you know, uh and I see what Shadow says. You know, democracy is not utopia. There's no such thing as utopia. It's not possible. Human beings are always going to cause their own problems.
Yeah.
If there's not a problem to be had, there we're going to create problems, because human beings need strife in their life to be able to survive. You can't be content all the time.
Well, democracy is the mob, man.
Mhm.
Democracy is everybody shouting and nobody listening.
Yep.
Democracy is nothing getting done, and it's absolute chaos.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually it devolves into real chaos and real barbarism.
Yep.
You know, democracy is pure democracy cannot work.
No,
Not
it's
especially not in a country the size that we have with the population that we do. It just can't work.
yep.
You know, it doesn't work at all. The That said, you know, a single ruler over all is also a bad thing. You know,
Oh yeah.
so like where do we find that balance at? Where do we find that? And I think the best answer that we've found so far has been the experiment that we call the United States of America,
Mhm.
up to date anyway. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
And it is an experiment, and that's why it has its really good points, and it has some really down points, like, you
mhm,
know, and that's just the way it is. It's like, you know, people who want to talk about, well, our criminal justice system is flawed. It's like, okay, that's a fair statement, but it's also the best one in the world, and they're it's not even close. You know, in other places in the world, you don't have the rights that you have
Yeah.
under, you know, you don't have the right to an attorney, you know, in other countries. It's like, you know, whatever, dude, we said you did this, you did it, bye, going to jail. So yeah, it's too many. I would say my generation, and even some older, and some younger, who have had it too good for too damn long, and they don't realize that the rest of the world is not a friendly place.
No,
right.
well, I mean, the thing is, what made me really realize it is COVID and watching all these other countries, and everyone was giving in, and nobody had a recourse to fight back. And when Biden made that whole jab mandate thing, what happened? Daily Wire sued him, and we
Hmm.
won. And that was a luxury that most of the rest of the world did not have. Freedom of speech is another thing that we have. Where why do we get alerts from Germany saying you have violated the laws of Germany? I mean, I didn't even know this, but having Mein Kampf on you in Germany is illegal. I actually went to Germany with it on a on my Kindle, not realizing it. Um, but that's what made me realize just how great this country is. That I mean, yeah, I get it. We got a lot of corruption going on. But at the basis, our Constitution and amendments, Bill of Rights, make us better than everyone else. Because
Mhm.
again, Daily Wire stood up and said, you know, that doesn't seem right. And we have tools to fight back. We have freedom of speech. All these babies can whine about it on Twitter, but I hate to break it to you, honey. Hate speech is free speech. You can whine all you want and you can quit your job, and good luck finding a new job because everyone's firing people right now, baby. You three are out.
Well, I was gonna say one thing. Well, and what's funny too is that they label things misinformation and disinformation. It's like, that's not a thing either. That's just called my opinion. If I want to walk outside and say the moon is made of cheese and that I can fly to it in my spaceship, you know, obviously that's a load of horse shit. And you know, it's people around me to be like, is that dude fucking retarded? Like, what's wrong with him? You know, that's their prerogative. Like, I don't need the government to be like, well, actually, we landed on the moon in 1960. It's like, no, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this out there, and I don't care if I get in trouble for it.
Dude, I don't want to see your penis. Not again.
Me neither.
Well, not that.
Oh, okay. I thought.
People who unironically use the terms disinformation and misinformation and do not apply them to government or corporate entities, but instead to individual people are fucking liars.
Mm-hmm.
They are lying.
Yeah. And it's literally the mainstream media and the government saying, well, that's misinformation. And it's like, nope, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
But
Nope. There's also, by the way, there is such a thing as being wrong. How come nobody takes that into account?
Well, okay. No. Well, the one that really got to me was they're going all about COVID and coof and all that misinformation, yada, yada. And yet, if you were to go right now on YouTube, you will find videos about vegan diets for cats. Now, let me clear. Do not put your cat on a vegan diet.
They're fucking carnivores.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. And the thing is, there's a difference between cats and dogs. Dogs are not obligate carnivores. Dogs can actually survive without meat. Cats are what is known as obligate carnivores. Their bodies do not produce certain proteins. If you put your cat on a vegan diet, you will slowly kill your cat. You will still find YouTube videos about that. But random masks, you say anything at one point about masks, and you get booted off of YouTube. But, I want to give my cat no meat, but I'm going to slowly kill my cat. That's perfectly okay.
Right. It's just this thing. And dogs, you can feed them on other things. But they are in fact carnivores. They're just not what you were saying, obligate.
Obligate.
However, they will survive, but they won't be entirely healthy.
No, they won't.
You know, we're omnivores. We require both animal and plant proteins and substances in order to be as healthy as possible. Like, it's not one way or the other. You can't have a purely carnivorous human and have them be totally balanced and healthy. You can't have a purely vegetarian human and have them be totally balanced and healthy. We require both.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know, which vegans. Anyway, Zillage, I don't think we could be friends anymore.
What?
That's total misinformation.
Wait, somebody call Mama Susan.
You're right.
Oh, now we're gonna get it in the chat about Mama Susan. Who's first? Who's gonna do it?
I love you, Mama Susan. You like the lotus to me, Mama Lotus.
Yeah, we got to do it for Carrie. Carrie's not here. I don't know where Carrie is. I thought he would be here today.
I haven't seen Carrie. He wasn't on my stream either, too.
Yeah, he's probably busy or something. I don't know. He does what he does. All right, so let's get through the rest of this.
Yeah.
All right, so she says a bunch of bullshit, and then we get to Erliani's. I have watched with, dare I say, trepidation, the negotiations over Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter. I had written down some commitments to myself at the time. Now, here's the thing. When you commit something to yourself, like when you make a goal for yourself or you say, this is a line I will not cross, that isn't necessarily something that you go out on Twitter and publicly announce. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's personal, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So she lays them out for us. Should Musk step over these thresholds, I told myself I would resign. Those red lines have been crossed. We know from research by the Anti-Defamation League, there's a fucking valid source, and the Center for Countering Digital Hate, which I've never fucking heard of, that slurs against Black Americans. Notice that she capitalizes Black Americans.
Yeah, that's
black.
that.
Black is not a proper noun. It's a fucking descriptor.
Yeah, no, that's that. They started that a couple years ago.
I
3 years ago. Idiots.
But it is. It's a descriptor.
Don't capitalize
It has,
white.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and even some people do, and it's stupid that they do that too, because it's a descriptor.
Probably get called racist if you do, though.
Yeah. So Black Americans and gay men have jumped 195% and 58% respectively since Musk's takeover. Anti-Semitic posts have soared more than 61% in the 2 weeks after Musk's acquiring of Twitter. To be fair, I have seen a lot more of that shit.
But who cares? I'm sorry, but so what?
But again,
was it coming from Kanye West?
Some of it, a lot of it from people I didn't know. Well, I mean, not like I know Kanye. Me and him aren't like besties or anything. I'm not hanging out with him, holding his hand or anything. I'm not going to take that any further. Yeah. After Musk's acquiring of Twitter, another red line for me was when previously banned accounts such as those on the far right and those who had incited others to violence, such as then U.S. President Donald Trump's, were reinstated.
Incitement to violence.
Oh, God.
I mean, just like a blanket right there. She cuts off like fucking. I would ask her first of all to define far right.
Yeah.
What exactly that means according to her, because if it's as broad as I suspect it is, that's like half of their fucking customer base.
Or more than that, because even people who fall in the middle, they'll be like, oh, they're right wing, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, anybody who doesn't believe in it's a cult. It's a fucking cult. Anybody who doesn't believe in the cult is literally everybody else.
Right. Yeah. And it's just, so she'd need to define that in order for me to get a better idea. I don't think she would for me, but she would need to do that in order for me to get a better idea of what she was fucking talking about there. So this is the end of it. We feared a 2-tiered Twitter, one for those who can pay and reap the benefits and another for those who cannot. Did we not just find out that already existed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. That a lot of the people, a lot of the blue check marks, a lot of your high society well-to-dos had those blue check marks because they fucking paid someone at Twitter to get them.
Yeah, they were exploited and now they're pissed off. I paid $15,000. Well, you're the idiot.
Right. Well, I could pay 8 if I wanted a check mark. I don't care about the check mark, or I'd have one.
It's just a sign of I'm special. I'm a part of the club.
This, we fear, will take away the credibility of the system and the beauty of Twitter, the platform where anyone could be heard. Bullshit, regardless of the number of their followers. Again, bullshit. It's better now, but than it was, and it's getting better. I don't know if it will continue down that trajectory or if it'll slide back, like I said earlier, but people are hearing my shit now. I've got I have 37 followers, right? Next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
More people are seeing my shit lately than they ever did before Trump or before Musk bought it.
Yeah.
I'm a little inflammatory.
Well, yeah, me too, because I don't know, I believe in a freedom of speech and stating my opinion. If I want to call somebody an idiot, I'm going to call him an idiot. Mark Ruffalo is nothing but a commie loser. It's like when he talks out his ass, I'm gonna be like, okay, commie loser. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But you say stuff like that, and it's like, oh well, we're gonna start, and they're literally legitimately, they found it out, accounts that are shadow banned, that they don't have as much direct interaction, and it's like, that's horse shit. It's horse shit.
Yeah. So, final paragraph. We cannot, therefore, in full conscience, remain on Twitter's Trust and Safety Council for reasons above. Twitter ruled by diktat is not a place for us. Content moderation is a nuanced business. I'm getting so fucking sick of that word. That requires full transparency, adherence to policies informed by best practices, and advice from trusted partners on the ground, as well as dedicated resources, meaning, people you can trust to say what you want them to. This is in no way a disavowal of our friends who remain on the council. They choose to do so for their own reasons, including continued safeguarding and the hope that reason will prevail. Nothing about any of this was reasonable.
Well, nothing about anything they said was nuanced. So
Yeah.
I love the fact that they're like, oh, we prefer a nuanced take on it. It's like, that's not nuanced.
I
You
love the
know-
fact that they think we care.
Oh, I know. I love it too. Like we're quitting, so we're gonna tell everybody we're quitting and why. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Don't let
Well,
the door
well-
hit you on the ass on the way
Well,
out.
Look
Just
at their
gonna say that.
Look at their credentials here. We got Erliani Abdul Rahman, co-founder, Yakin, Youth, Adult Survivors, and Kin in Need. Now, I guarantee they don't mean kin as in relatives.
No.
You know,
Cult.
Ad Collier, founder and executive director of the Net Safety Collaborative.
Well, and I have a question too. How do you get qualified for this crap? Like, I would be more qualified because I actually believe in legitimate freedom of speech, and there are certain things that are good about it, and there's certain things that are bad about it. Like, as an example, I'm gonna show up to your house, I got a pew pew, and you're gonna get it. That's not freedom of speech. So it's like, oh, banned. Okay, fine. But if somebody wants to say, you know what, I think you're a piece of garbage and you should go walk off a bridge, that's not.
No,
Like,
I agree with you.
I would. So it's like, what makes them qualified for this? How does Yakin Youth, Adult Survivors, and Kin in Need, like, what the hell is that?
Oh, no.
Because you co-founded that crap?
Right.
Okay, I guess if I go find a website where it's like, oh, for people in need, can I work at Facebook's, trust and safety?
Honestly, I think she's just a diversity hire because that's a Muslim name.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
a
she's
Muslim
a
name.
diversity hire to the diversity board.
Yeah.
And then our final signee here is the one who drafted this, I believe, Leslie Podesta, Young and Resilient Research Center, Western Sydney University.
Oh, these people.
So she's a fucking
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Look at Australia.
Yep.
Look at what New Zealand was doing too. They're really hard on that Australian train as well, where you just had police taking custody of a child away because the parents didn't want their child, who is still an infant, to get vaccinated blood. I think that's pretty safe thing to request to make. Hey, don't know how this is going to affect our child. Could you not do that, please?
And they took the child away?
Yes, the cops showed up. There's 3 of them.
Oh my God.
The nurse called the cops.
What the hell is wrong with these people? What the hell is happening in this world? I thought it was just this country. This is insane.
No, it's the world over. You know, all this stuff is happening in the West, because like all throughout the world, because we're the last bastion. We fall, it's over. Everybody else is already on their way down.
Mm-hmm. Like,
to be fair, some of it started here, like a lot of the woke shit in the military and all that stuff got spread out via here. But yes, this whole thing is an attack on the West. And once America goes, once the U.S. goes,
it's over.
It's over. And at this point, it's almost a matter of time, a matter of when, not if.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I hate to say it, I know this sounds stupid, but we need more people on the internet speaking out against it, because if we don't catch the attention of the normal guy down the street who just does his 9 to 5 and wants to try to put food on the table, even though eggs are $5-6 for a carton, like, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that you get Klaus Schwab who's hanging out, and having pictures taken him with a freaking swastika behind him, and not the one from the Hindu religion either. It's the one that's canted like the Nazis.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I try telling people I work with, and it's like some people I know are so into it down, like,
they're brainwashed.
No, but even my dad, at one point, I'm trying to tell him about the Twitter files thing, and he's like, "How do I know I could believe?" It's like, if you've been hanging around the internet like I have, I can tell you everything they're saying makes sense. It's like you were willing to accept all the COVID rules and regulations blindly, but when I tell you what's been going on with, Twitter and Elon Musk, and you're like, "Yeah, well, how do I know I could believe that?" Okay.
I have a friend who literally, I was talking about when they thought about Apple might remove Twitter from the App Store. And I was like, well, I was just joking around. I was like, yeah, I definitely, if they remove Twitter from the App Store, I was like, I'm getting one of those Elon Musk phones. And she's like, ugh. And I'm like, I'm like, what? She's like, I don't like Elon Musk. He's a what would she say? He's a thief or something like that. And I'm like, he's a what? I'm like, did I miss something? And she's like, I don't want to get into it. She's like, but Elon Musk isn't a good guy. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, you think that's bad? I was talking with, we were visiting some leftist friends of the family, and I'm like, it was way back when he was first, before he bought it, and she's like, I don't like what Elon Musk's family did. What does that have to do with Elon Musk
Yeah.
and Twitter? I mean, I don't like everything Elon Musk has done. There's some things he's done with Tesla, which has me a little uncomfortable. I would not want a Tesla myself because the cars are remote controllable. But what he's doing with Twitter, dude's doing the right thing.
Oh, they could probably hack into a normal vehicle nowadays.
You know who
the computer system with the GPS.
You know who I think could do the best thing for everybody though? The bro jobby gamer.
69,
brother.
69 for 69. Am I right?
Bro jobby, brother.
Oh, that is awesome.
Thank you, Kohai. That is perfect. She just sent that to me. I had to get it up there. That's
oh God, that is hilarious.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh my God, that is so funny. I can't breathe.
She's laughing so hard she's choking.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, well, let me tell you something, brother. I need to get a Red Bull and working. I'm gonna get the 22-inch pylons.
Oh man, that is some excellent work there, Kohai. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Kat, I'll make sure you have that.
Oh please, that is awesome. That is awesome.
That should be your new profile pic on Twitter.
No, I
should.
That's really good, but I keep my Cora bro. That no, the corpus I have on Twitter is not Viso. That's Cora bro. He gets killed by Cora.
And that I think will make a not quite rough transition back into games.
Yeah,
Video games.
Actually, did you guys hear that the lead on the Ghost of Tsushima is actually heading up the new BioShock 4 game?
I have not heard that, but Ghost of Tsushima was fucking amazing. So
exactly. So that means that BioShock 4 will probably actually be a good game, because if you remember playing the original ones, especially the third one, it has a little BioShock Infinite has some themes about a little bit of racism in there that you would not be able to get away with today. Not even close.
I don't know. I haven't played the third one because I really liked Rapture.
Yeah,
I never really wanted
play the third one, and you're gonna be like, holy shit, how did they make this game?
Well,
no,
you know,
awesome.
Racism in gaming is not like a new concept. It's usually done through like a fantasy lens, but it does happen with certain exceptions. I played a Lovecraft game called The Sinking City last year.
Yeah, I've heard
that was not only on the nose about the racism, but also actually featured the hooded KKK as fightable enemies.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing with BioShock Infinite. They're not really down with the black people, because it's kind of like a society that's split off from like normal, so to speak. So they took their own direction, and
right. I never played any of them. I watched one of my roommates play through the first two. I think
the first one.
Great games, but the third one definitely had some. And it wasn't like it was trying to make a message. It was just basically telling how like things used to be, just world history. But it's like this civilization that, you know, because all the cities were kind of apart. But yeah, instead of being in Rapture where they're sunken city, underwater, this one's in the sky.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, the sinking city actually isn't like sunken. It's
no. Yeah, in BioShock, it's a city underwater. That's right. It's like a sunken city, but no, the sinking city. I know that game. It's a city that's being flooded. Yeah.
So now they were in the sinking city, very, very on the nose with some shit. There is an entire family of well-to-do people that nobody likes who are half ape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, which is not out of the realm of stuff that Lovecraft himself wrote, or even Robert E. Howard, who's I quoted today in today's description. But you know, it does happen, and there's a bunch of refugees from Innsmouth.
Mhm.
Right, if you've read The Shadow over Innsmouth, nothing good happens in that story, and the city itself ends up being destroyed. Well, a bunch of people survived that, and they went to this other place where the game takes place. So you got a bunch of guys running around who have like cod face, you know,
Huh.
because they're part
Okay.
fish, because
Yeah.
their parents and their ancestors liked mating with things from the deep.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I haven't played the game, but I watched a playthrough of it. And it's pretty on the nose, especially because, like I said, the head of the really rich family, he's like the size of he's like half man, like half gorilla. It's
Mhm.
very, very, very on the nose, literally. And of course,
Huh.
he dresses in all white, and it's just like, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, look at
You know, and so yeah, it's that's more like on the nose. Like if you go back to like JRPGs, for example, Suikoden is probably my favorite series. I place that shit way above Final Fantasy, and I know I'll probably get shit for that, but fuck it.
Mm.
Final Fantasy is lesser than Suikoden. I'm just saying that.
I've
Anyway,
never even heard of Suikoden.
it takes place in a fantasy world. So you've got like, you know, dwarves and elves and humans, and you know, there are other species too that come in later, kobolds, that kind of thing. And in the very first game, it's very, very upfront about it, right? The dwarves and the elves hate each other. The
Okay.
dwarves and the humans hate each other. The elves and the humans hate each other, and the humans hate both of them because they're inferior.
Mm.
So everybody hates everybody.
Pretty much. And
Well,
it's very apparent throughout.
well, even in one of my favorite ones, games by BioWare is fuck, I can't think of it off the top of my head. What's Dragon Age? Yeah, the elves are
Yep.
slaves.
Yep, they did well.
We
Oh.
call them knife ears, and then of course they use that in the stupid Rings of Power.
some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
elves are slaves. The city elves all live in basically ghettos, walled off
In the
ghettos,
slums. Yeah, in the slums.
and they're walled off just like, you know, old school ghettos were.
Mhm.
And the wild elves, who are a lot less dirty and grubby, and a lot less you know, ground down, I guess is the term I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Are also vicious killers.
Yeah.
You know,
Huh.
Yeah. Like you
And-
literally start out that game with two elves as house slaves. Like they're the servants.
are
With
you
two
talking
elves.
about
Cool.
are you talking about origins?
Yeah, origins.
Okay, because that depends on the origin that you picked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
No,
there are
I do
six different openings.
yeah, I always do the human one. Sorry. That's my bias.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The one thing I really liked about that is if you play through all 6 origin stories, right?
Yeah.
You get the perspectives of everybody.
okay.
I mean, most of the rest of the game, really, it doesn't affect a lot of the rest of the game. In minor ways, it does, but nothing major. Like when you go to recruit the Dalish elves, for example, to help you out after you become a Grey Warden, if you're an elf, that goes a little smoother, but only a little bit, because you still have to go through all that shit with the werewolves and the elves, you know, and choosing which is which kind of thing. But
Yeah.
whereas if you play a human, it's a little dicey getting them to even talk to you.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know,
Yeah.
because
There's not a lot of love there.
yeah, so or if you're playing as a dwarf, for example, an exiled dwarf, it makes the interactions when you go to Orzammar very interesting, because not only were you exiled to the surface and ergo dead to them, but you're also a former noble, and there's the whole dwarven
Huh.
thing revolves around a fight over who is the rightful ruler. And so when you get there, you kind of throw that whole thing into disarray, because you're not supposed to be able to come back, but because you're a Grey Warden, you get special circumstances and shit like that. And it's a
Yeah.
whole thing. And if you're a dwarf, it makes that a whole lot more interesting. Whereas if you're a human, you're just kind of walking into a political fight you have no skin in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of fucking like narrow-minded, so to speak. I just prefer usually playing human characters. Like even in the Elder Scrolls game, I'm always a human. So I guess just do what you know. I don't know.
Dragon Age 3 is a Canary mage. That's awesome.
I
I,
might play Khajiit, maybe.
That's a different series.
Yeah, that's Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Those are the cat people. Of course, you're going to be.
You know, the Khajiit are all like swindlers and thieves, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
That makes it even better.
I mean,
Cat is a furry. Is in the chat.
they're like, if not to put too fine a point on it, but they're kind of like if the Romani of old were furries.
Okay, that makes them even cooler. Why would I want to?
Yeah, they're
You're talking to someone who enjoys all right, fine. I just like shooting stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't. The reason I'm always, I guess I have a human bias, so to speak, is because when I play a game, I want to, I want to play as a human because I want to see what the interaction of like a human with the other species is going to be. It's like, I mean,
that's fair.
It's not. I don't understand what it would. I mean, I'm not. There's no other thing to me other than a human. I'm not going to be a fucking Khajiit because I don't know what it's like to be a cat.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like, I don't know. It's anyway.
Yeah, well, and that's fair. Now I will play as an Argonian because they can breathe underwater and they're nearly invulnerable to poisons and disease, which makes that game a lot fucking easier to get through.
Yeah. You find. I think you find like some a magical pennant or something like that later in the game where you can breathe underwater.
Yes, you can, but you can do it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
And also I think there's actually a breathe underwater spell you can cast, but it's temporary, so you've got to gauge it.
Yeah, so when you find the amulet, like you can just bring so that's always the first thing I do is get that amulet. It makes it easier to breathe underwater. So
yeah, it's good. It's breathing underwater is great because not only do you get to find stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to find because there's a bunch of treasure underwater, but also it makes getting away if you commit crimes a lot easier.
No, I'll admit I play Claptrap in Borderlands the pre-sequel because he doesn't need air. In Borderlands the pre-sequel, which is the one that takes place on the moon.
I have never played Borderlands because I lean more towards Fallout.
Borderlands is pretty good. I mean, they have really cool guns. I mean, one of the things I'll say about Borderlands is the amount of variety of guns. It's not like Destiny 2 where you get the same gun over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. They have, especially in Borderlands 3, they have this like basically random roll thing where it automatically just creates, like, you have a gun that when you reload it, it will create a miniature version of the gun and throw it and like it'll explode. It's got these really weird like perks and stuff for the guns. So there's like, if you like a lot of guns.
Yeah, before Ryan, before you answer this, Shadow, you are lucky Carrie's not here. Anything after Fallout Tactics, he considers an abomination.
Yeah, well, that's when Bethesda bought it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he hates everything that Bethesda's done.
Yeah, literally, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics, they're literally all what's it called? I can't think of it, the company. Anyway,
I can't remember.
It got absorbed by Obsidian, and so that's why when the Outer Worlds came out, it was kind of I think it was a little bit of a shot over the bow at Bethesda because Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas, which I actually prefer. If I'm going to be honest, I think I prefer Fallout New Vegas the most over the modern ones. Because obviously, like I said, that separation. I think Bethesda took Fallout in a better Black Isle Studios. Thank you. I think Bethesda took Fallout in a better direction because it got out of that whole turn-based over the head. Now I'm not saying that maybe Black Isle Studios wouldn't have did it, but they probably would have taken longer to do so. So I think that's why Fallout 3 is usually hailed as probably the best one, the most well received. But I prefer New Vegas.
I've heard that actually that a lot, at least as far as players are concerned, that New Vegas is probably what most people would go with as well. And New Vegas was a hell of a game, despite being buggy as a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, pretty much all Bethesda's games are buggy as fuck. I played Fallout 76 when it first debuted.
I did. No,
so you got in there when there was nothing.
Yeah, I got in there. I got in on the beta. Like that's
wow.
Yeah, I was a crash tester. So I got in on that. I liked Fallout 76 because it was like this dead world, and it's like you had to figure out what happened. And I actually kind of liked that. It irritated me that everybody was so peeved off, like, oh, where's all the NPCs? It's like this game is lame. I'm like, you can't think outside the box a little bit, fucker.
No, they
Like,
can't. No one can.
and now it's like I feel like the game is a little too oversaturated with NPCs, in my opinion. So I still like it, but I like the original because it felt desperate. I liked it. I liked the desperation of it because everything was dead.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
you know,
ESO makes a lot more sense to be saturated with NPCs because it's a vibrant world filled with life.
yeah, Fallout is not.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. I think I did play a little of it before the NPCs were brought in, and then I don't know. I never
Greetings, sir.
really. I didn't like the fact that it was like people would offer to help me to play, and it's like I don't want help.
I did not play in a group. I played the game all by myself. I would go sometimes couple of hours without ever seeing another player in Fallout 76, and I preferred it that way.
You know,
Yeah.
I gotta say that's one thing that I'd say that Bethesda does right with their MMOs is that you can play them without having to group up, without having to interact. A lot of MMOs they make that mistake like real early on. Like, and I get that part of the appeal of MMOs is to interact with players from around the world. I understand that, but at the same time, a lot of us are solo players. There's a reason I never played the Old Republic, Star Wars: The Old Republic, is because I came up on KOTOR.
Yeah, I wanted Knights of the Old Republic 3 so bad.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic 3, and this was technically it, and it's a fucking MMO. And I don't generally go in for MMOs because I'm a solo player, always have been.
Yeah, my first MMO I played was Star Wars Galaxies. That's how old that is.
Yeah.
So Star Wars Galaxies was old as shit.
I played a few. I did. I played DCUO for like 10 years.
You know, I played the original. I played Dungeons and Dragons Online. It's still going too. Like I play it on Mondays.
Yeah. So I played DCUO for like 10 years. I did some ESO. I did Star Trek Online, which had aspects that were a lot of fun and other aspects that were bullshit. Made by the same guys who made Star Trek Online. I played Neverwinter. I think that's a great fucking game.
I've played some of that.
I have not, but I saw Neverwinter everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a great YouTuber here, Josh Strife Hayes. He's great with MMOs. I think which is one of the reasons though why I like Warframe. Warframe, you do not have to play with people. You can lock it. You basically can go for solo only, or like you can basically, the majority of the time I have played Warframe, I have played it completely by myself, which is not like Destiny 2 where you'll get dragged into. But I guess Destiny 2 would have been the first. No, original Destiny would have been the first MMO I ever played, if you count Destiny as an MMO. But I don't think I would count at least original Destiny as much of an MMO as even Destiny 2.
No, fair enough. I see Rez in the chat. We're going to try and get him on panel next week. And,
nice.
See about that. He would like to very much talk about Spawn, which I'm good with. I think that's pretty good. Now, as far as classic games go, like I saw this post on Twitter a couple hours ago that said, what was the first Capcom game you played? And I, for the life of me, the earliest one I can think of is probably Mega Man.
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, isn't it? I don't know. I think it was Mega Man, but I could be wrong.
Let me type in Capcom 90s games, because that's when I started gaming, was the 90s.
Ah, yeah. See, I got you beat by about half a decade there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm only 37.
I had a Commodore 64.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, the thing with me is, my family didn't have. My first console was an SNES, but honestly, even when we had a console, I think we maybe had 4 or 5 games total, because we really didn't play that much video games. We would play outside more and stuff like that. So I have a huge, people are always telling me I need to play some retro games because I have a huge retro game gap. So I have Islam for Europeans keeps coming into my live streams and being like, when are you going to play Super Metroid? It's like I've never played Super Metroid. I've never played Mega Man. I've never played. I mean, I've played some random video games every now and then before Destiny, but what really got me into video games was Halo, and then Destiny 2, and then
You know
What?
what, Kat? You should check out the Legacy of Kain series.
that's another list a game I know people
Yeah.
have mentioned it to me that I have to play.
There are 5 games in that series. It's one story. It's mostly
Action.
keeps all the loops together. Yes, it's the first one is a top-down hack and slash RPG.
Okay, because
The second
I'm
one, like you go through and you hack the shit out of things. You play a
okay.
vampire. You can suck blood from like up to like 8 feet away from your enemy.
All
Damn.
right.
And actually, there's a bit where you're going through a battlefield, and if you equip the axes and the blood armor, there is so much pixelated swirling blood flying around the screen that it lags super bad. It's awesome.
Oh, so, all right. Because
You know,
I mean, because I don't know if you saw, you saw the game I was playing earlier. That's the kind of games I like. I like that.
Mhm.
I like fast paced
yeah,
action.
it's
Don't mind the blood or the guts.
pretty actiony. After that, they kind of get a little bit more into like because Crystal Dynamics. Silicon Knights was who made the first game, and then they sold the rights to Crystal Dynamics and Eidos, who made the Tomb Raider games. So they borrow a lot from that style, although the violence is still there. But there's a lot more like block moving and puzzle solving in Soul Reaver, and then Soul Reaver 2, which came after Blood Omen 2. It gets a little confusing, the timeline. Blood Omen 2 is a little bit more of a stealth game, but again, lots of bloody death. And
Cool.
then there's a final game called Legacy of Kain Defiance, where you play as the 2 protagonists of the series side by side.
I mean, it's on my list. I remember someone mentioned it, so I'm pretty sure it's already on my list. But I will keep it in mind. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I have decided. And you know what? It's like a weight has lifted from my heart. I'm no longer going to be live streaming Destiny 2. So I'm like, when I finished my live stream this afternoon, I was like, you know what? Expect the unexpected. I'm not going to be playing Destiny 2 next week. I'm not going to be playing Destiny 2 tomorrow. I'm just going to be playing. And so it's like, yeah, I have a huge backlog of games I want to play. I have the Callisto Protocol. I was playing Wild West, God of War not God of War, the old God of War games. Doom. I want to replay Doom Eternal and Doom, and then I want to go back and play the old Doom games. I want to play Legacy of Kain, Monster Hunter, that god awful game that Shadow does not shut up about.
Oh shit. Logical Spock just sent me a link to NES games. And I think these are these all Capcom? I think these are.
It's either
It's the Capcom database. So as it turns out, Mega Man was not the first Capcom game I played. Ghosts and Goblins or Commando might have been.
I think mine was either I think it might have been 1942 on the NES.
Yeah. Fuck, that was Capcom? I didn't know that was Capcom.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That was that
it
flight
was
simulator, right?
Yeah, it was because I loved as a kid, I've always been a huge fan of Top Gun. And so my cousin and I, we used to always like fucking, but yeah, I think it's 1942 if I had to really boil it down.
Yeah, man.
But
God.
I know Street Fighter is on the list too, because I had a friend who had a Sega Genesis.
They made freaking Darkwing Duck and DuckTales.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
I thought one of those might have been the first ones, and then I saw 1942, and I think my stepdad had 1942. So
God, Capcom dominated the NES. I mean, there's so much shit on here that I played. I didn't realize I played all of these things.
yeah,
You know.
my
I don't want to look at this. It's going to give me add to my already massive backlog.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, you're just gonna have to like double down, I think, Kat, and just start like plowing through games. You know, it's gonna be funny though when you start getting to the retro stuff. If you think the shit today is difficult.
Yeah, I know. And the problem is, look, I don't mind playing difficult stuff, all right? My only issue is I'm worried that if I'm live streaming and if I die like 40 times like I did at one point in Wild West, I kept dying over and over. So when I finally got it, it was amazing. But it's like I don't want to bore the live stream. It's not about me. I could be ridiculously stubborn and will not stop until I get it. I don't want people in the live stream to be like, yeah, this sucks. And then they're like, this is boring. It's like, as long as you guys don't mind me dying a lot.
Yeah, I would like to, Rez. I would like to take the people who say Elden Ring was too difficult and have them play Return of the Jedi on the Super NES. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Never. I don't think I ever played that one. I didn't have a Super Nintendo. We went straight from regular Nintendo and jumped straight to the 64.
I have never met anybody. I know that they exist, but I have never personally met anybody who made it past the second fucking level on that game. It's that hard.
A lot of the goddamn Disney games were fucking hard too.
Yes, they
Yeah,
were.
the
Fucking Aladdin and shit. That shit
Aladdin was rough.
they re-released it for the Switch.
Yeah,
Did they?
Yeah, there's a Switch version of that, and it's like an Aladdin, Lion King, and then they added a third one, so it's like a triple combo. And it's available on PS5 and Xbox too.
Fucking Ninja Gaiden? Oh my god, is in the chat. Jesus Christ. Does anybody remember their very first video game that was ever bought for them? Like the very first one you probably ever played as a kid?
They were word fantasies, man. We had word fantasies. That's where I started.
I think mine was Tetris or Super Mario Land.
I remember when my parents got their first VCR, by the way, in the 80s. But my first video game system was the NES, and they bought me the Sesame Street game because I was that young. Because I was born in 85. So I think I was like 4. Yeah, I was like super young.
Yeah, I think
so. Shadow, are you just going to use like the dullest knife that you get at the beginning of the game, or are you going to use any knife? Because there's a bunch of really excellent knives in that game. Just saying, you can use a knife and beat the game. It's not that hard.
I have to be honest. I've never played any of the Dark Souls games, and I'll probably never play Elden Ring either because I Conquer the Nintendo in my muscle. Oh no, Conquer's bad fur day.
Man,
yeah, even I know that's not exactly kid friendly.
Apparently his mom looked at the cover and thought it was fine.
Yeah, no.
Oh man, your poor mom. I was playing the Alien versus Predator real-time strategy game on the PS1, I believe, PS1 or 2. I don't remember which system. It was a port from the PC version. Mm-hmm. And overall it was okay, but anyway, as you're playing along, you get to play as one of the 3 factions: the aliens, predators, or the space marines. Okay. And either way, when you get into the big battles, there's a lot of like flashy lights and bright colors and stuff because everybody bleeds a different color.
Cool.
And so my mother walks into the room and she sees this. She's like, "Oh, there's a lot of pretty colors. What's going on there?" And I was like, "Yeah." She gets a little closer. She's like, "Oh my god." There's like face huggers ripping people open and shit. And it's just...
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah.
My probably the first controversial video game that I ever got bought was GoldenEye 007.
That was controversial?
That was controversial because of Columbine.
Really? Because I'll tell you some other time offline, Ryan, that I got a story about that too. But we were playing that at that time too. It never got brought up where I lived at. Did. That and Perfect Dark.
I was in, how old was I? I was in middle school at the time when that came out, and it was all over the news and stuff. Like, that like, oh, violent music and violent video games could have been the cause of it. It's like, no. And we lived in Colorado, by the way, too, so that didn't help. But yeah, no, my mom was the one who told my stepdad, she's like, he's just give him the damn game. He's not gonna do anything. And of course, obviously that was it was just media hysteria as we have seen for decades now. The media is great at that crap. Get everybody whipped up and freaked out about shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick.
Real quick. His voice went before he did. But yeah, I just I liked a lot of those things. First violent game was Killer Instinct. That's a good pick. It is a good pick. I think for me, my first really violent game that showed a lot of blood and gore was probably Mortal Kombat 2 at the arcade.
I
You
don't
know,
remember.
and it was at the arcade because there's no fucking way my parents would allow that in the house.
Mm.
You know?
I think we had a Mortal Kombat game too. I remember playing Final Fantasy VII. But my first person shooter was Halo 3, and that was only about 10 years ago. I mean, a lot of people are surprised. Someone was surprised. I think it was Mr. Tickle Trunks who was surprised. He's like, "You started playing shooters when you were an adult." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's impressive." He's like, apparently, because I only started playing first person shooters as an adult, and apparently, I don't know. He said he was impressed that.
No, it's I mean, it kind of is because that's so a lot of people tend to get in on those when they're still developing their hand-eye coordination
Yeah.
and all that. And so and that it has been proven that that video games, especially things like shooters and whatnot, are good for hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of people are a lot younger, so they're still developing that stuff when they get into that. So yeah, it is kind of impressive that that you got into it later.
I know one of the things I like though is like with Evil West, for example. I started it on hard, and I think one of the things I enjoy is the challenge. And like at one point I died so many times, but when you finally beat it, it's like that joy of finally conquering something difficult. Which is one of the reasons why I'm so angry with Destiny 2, because I was just ranting about the aim assist in Destiny 2 and how you want the challenge and you don't want the game holding your hand, especially with aim assist. I'm really, really mad about the whole aim assist thing, because I knew that there was aim assist in Destiny 2. I just didn't realize just how egregious. And now when I think about it, it's like you don't have to make any effort at all to shoot at all in Destiny 2. And I don't know. This game is just awesome. I am loving this game.
Well,
like I said, yeah, I think you convinced me. I'm gonna probably give that one a shot for Infamous Games. That'll be the title that we get into since God of War Ragnarok is now done doing that. So
yeah,
speaking
you
of
said
which,
you were thrilled about it last night.
I wasn't.
Which one?
God of War Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that too.
So I wasn't, and I'm not. There are things, like I said, that I do very much like about it. But as a matter of fact, right now, and I'm not doing any of this stuff online. But there's some like epilogue cleanup quests and shit like that that you can do and finish off side quests. So I've been running around doing that on my own time. And one of those things is like once you finally get all of the ravens, right? You got to get all of Odin's ravens. It opens up a bunch of chests for you in Niflheim. But the second that you do that, one of those like witch chicks who teleport all over the place, and they got the antlers and they throw fucking magic at you all the time. She shows up. She throws a hissy fit and starts complaining that it took her forever to get all these ravens to bend to her will, and now they're all free. And fuck you so much. And so you go down to fight her. So you start fighting her, and it's a pretty typical fight with one of those creatures, but it's a boss fight, right? So she's got this big ass health bar. You get her down about a quarter of the way, and she disappears, and a bunch of revenants show up. So you got to fight them, and then she comes back right before the last one's dead, so she can start hitting you in the back while you're trying to kill this last guy off.
Yeah.
You get her down to about halfway. She summons a bunch more guys. This time harder guys. One of them's almost mini boss level himself. You get those guys out of the way. She comes back, and you get her down one more time. And the bitch, you think, okay, so there's going to be another wave of soldiers. No, she pulls a Skyrim and drops a fucking dragon on you. Ooh. It's a mini boss fight inside a mini boss fight.
Oh boy.
You have to kill the dragon before she comes back.
Oh boy.
And by the time you've done that, because it's a full-on mini boss, it's got the same health and stats and attacks as all of the other dragons in the game. You're so depleted on resources and shit like that it takes nothing for her to kill you. I have not gotten past her at that point.
Oh wow.
Because the dragon keeps sapping all my shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
Okay.
So there, but it's been kind of fun. I also found the real tier, and there were some other little things that they do, like pieces of Asgard end up all over the 9 realms. So you go and take care of those. And there's a bunch of little side quests, but the best part is that there's almost no talking. You just go to the place and you do the thing, and then you move on.
Yeah.
no character development, no none of that crap. Just hey, we're going over here now. Are we now? Well, okay then, let's go over here now.
Okay.
And also, yeah, it's so I'm kind of liking that stuff, but I probably still won't be doing that on air. I am gonna check out more about this what is it called again? Evil
Evil
West.
West. The
Yeah.
reason originally I thought of you is because when I first started playing it, so you crash a train at the beginning and you're fighting vampires, and one of them, like the first one that came at me, had like one arm that was a tentacle. And at one point there was a whole bunch of vampires with like, they called them like ticks. They're like, I think, servants of the vampires, and some of them have like a tentacle for a head. And I'm like, oh my god, Samuel Levinson would love this game.
Yeah, I
It's
just
just random tentacles out of random places. It's I'm really liking it, but then keep in mind I'm also very biased because I've gotten just so sick of Destiny 2 that anything that isn't Destiny 2 is no, this isn't tied to Abe Lincoln Vampire, but I guess they mentioned President Cleveland, so I think it's President Grover Cleveland's first term in office. I know that.
Hey Lou.
I think it's like the main characters are Civil War vets, and I mean, what I like also is the fact that all the male characters are like, they're manly men. It's none of this, whitewashed, sappy soy boy. It's, you just see the character on screen and he's like, yeah,
Muggsy?
mega total
Hey,
buff
Muggsy.
dude. Oh, Mugsykins picked it up on Steam too. And they're mega buff, manly men just kicking ass and taking names. None of these, like, I mean, there's so few like emotional moments like between him and the conflict between him and his father, but it's none of that drawn out emotional development kind of Destiny 2 garbage. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
just all the different, they keep throwing in new mechanics, new different ways of killing stuff. And it's cool.
Yeah. Well,
See, yes, she said Cat is a bad influence. I'm a bad influence on Mugsykins. I am definitely a bad influence. It can be.
all that wrist you're showing.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Henry. Emotional moments can be good, but at the same time, sometimes, like, it depends on the genre of the game you're playing, okay? Destiny 2 is a first-person shooter. It is an action where you are basically a god-level hero kicking butt and taking names. The entire story is not supposed to be about emotional moments, and the final moment of the season, should not be some kissy, smoochy times between two characters. That's not what Destiny 2 is about.
Well, see, and I agree. Like, good writing should have emotion in it. It should be about evolving the characters from point A to point B. And yes, somewhere in the middle, maybe they break down, but then they build themselves back up again. Modern writers always forget about the building them back up part.
I don't know. I got so sick of Saint 14 and Osiris, and then finally they end the season with this whole stupid. You collect 8 artifacts, so you have the whole season, and they make a goddamn cup of tea, and they give him the cup of tea.
So what you're saying, Kat, is you're alt-right.
Apparently, no. Apparently, according to someone on Twitter, I am a conservative man trying to pass off as a woman.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I got into an argument with people. It was like 3 people, and one of them was a self-proclaimed soy boy, which I think now non-binary is an excuse for men who don't have enough masculinity. So in order not to face the fact that you're a soy boy, they're like,
right.
I'm a non-binary femboy. Okay, you're a soy boy. Right.
We used to call that metrosexual, which was a
Mhm.
euphemism for gay.
Mhm.
No,
Secret-
that's
secretly gay.
no. You know what? There's still a manliness to that. This is literally. I called him a soy boy, and he was like, I'm a non-binary femboy."
Well,
Right.
and you guys out there in the chat and in YouTube world, you need to listen to what Kat's saying here. She knows from manly.
But
Tell you what, she got bigger arms than I do.
So one of the guys who I was arguing with about how sucky the ending of Destiny 2 was like, you sound like a conservative man trying to pass off for a woman. I'm like, dude, I live stream. You can see for yourself I'm a woman. I'm not trying to pretend to be a woman.
Right.
I am a woman. What are you gonna do about it?
I'd say you don't even have a hint of a deep voice. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like Brittany Griner's more man than you are.
Brittany Griner is a man.
Yeah, I've tried to find research on whether or not that's a dude, and I can't find anything. But all they'll say is Brittany Griner has not been open about her, and I'm just like, what? She hasn't been open about, like, what the hell are you talking about?
About her dick?
All right, Rez. No.
Has to have a fucking dick.
No, Rez. Some of the guys I deal with on Twitter are less manly than trans men.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's trans now.
I don't even want to.
You know, that was something that Kat brought up before we went live, talking about was the director of nuclear what have yous who steals women's clothes and walks around like he looks a little bit, if you colored him yellow, he'd look a little bit like Nick, what's his name in Sin City. He's got that kind of bulbous head.
Yeah,
that yellow bastard.
And apparently there is a felony warrant out for him, and he still has not been fired by the Biden administration.
There's a felony warrant out for a currently employed member of the federal government.
Well, to me, this proves to me what I was saying is this proves that the guy gets off on it because the guy makes plenty enough money to buy his own girl clothes. All right. So he gets off on it because what makes him get off on it is the thought that a woman was wearing it before he put it on.
He also gets off on puppy play. So
I think we but I mean, like you said, it depends on the genre of the game. If you're playing, I'm sorry, no. So this Evil West game's awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. It's got some emotional moments, but it's not like the focus of the entire game.
Yeah, I will. I am gonna check that out. I think that might be the next one. We will also be doing some more Sunless Skies, but a bit sporadically as we have been. But I do love that game. By the way, if you guys haven't played it, I don't know. It might not really be up your speed, Kat. It's pretty slow moving, and there's a lot of reading. But
a woman reading?
I read.
Women can read? No, come on.
I can read. I just don't want to read while playing a video game. When I'm playing a video game, I want to kill shit.
Yeah,
next you're gonna tell me women can vote.
Yeah, see, it is up my alley. You basically you're in the expanse in the skies in New London or whatever. Takes place in the same universe that Sunless Sea did, where after a disaster, most of London ends up underground in this underground ocean kind of thing. But this is in the skies, in the heavens, and you travel around in a flying locomotive with a cannon attached to the front. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's gorgeously animated. It's got some pretty cool music, and it's got the most bizarre and fun characters that you run across.
Oh, when you said it has the most bizarre and fun characters you will come across, that immediately told me that killing those characters is not your priority.
Oh no, but you can. So you die a lot, right? And then your next life, you start over, but certain things get passed down from the previous playthrough to the next playthrough, like how much map you've uncovered, if some of your gold, that kind of thing. Anyway, the very first death that I had was because we ran out of resources and ended up eating most of the crew. And then the rest of the crew didn't trust me when I said, "Oh, it'll be fine. Trust me, I'm not going to eat you too." And they turned on me and killed me and ate me.
Yeah, but that tells me that there's resources involved in maintaining resources. When you know what, I like those games where you never run out of ammo.
Well, that's not realistic at all.
That's beside the point. Who cares?
You don't run out of ammo in this. You do overheat.
Oh, so it's a little bit like the first Mass Effect.
I kind of.
Well,
not
with the weapon system.
Yeah.
New Adventure says very steampunk. I don't know. Very good steampunk
It's
game to play is Close
kind
to
of.
the Sun.
Yeah, it's kind of steampunky, but it takes a lot of inspiration from things like, especially things like Jules Verne. So yes, but also from H.P. Lovecraft and that sort of thing. So it's like it's kind of a mishmash of stuff, but it works pretty well together.
I very much like steampunk and atom punk games.
You might check this out.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously Fallout is atom punk. Close to the Sun is a good. It's kind of an indie steampunk game. Which is it's a really good game. BioShock is steampunk, of course.
I love
So
Bioshock.
yeah, I love Oh, Ryan, favorite Mass Effect romance. Ashley. She was.
Really?
Yep, absolutely.
That's
1000%.
boring. Why
Oh,
would
no,
anybody
man,
want to
it's-
play romance in a freaking video game when you can
Fucking,
kill it?
it's Liara all the way. I'm sorry.
No, because
Boring, both of you.
because Ashley is the only one that actually sticks around. In the second fucking game, Liara runs off to go be.
You get her back in the third,
Oh, it's so gay.
and
God, that's gay.
and she's got her fingers in every pie in the galaxy.
So gay. God, like she flees at the first sign she can run. Like, no.
Oh my god,
Absolutely
that is so boring.
fucking not. I can't stand fucking Liara stands.
Yeah, I know
guys
she doesn't
take the
come into
cheap-
the. I know she doesn't come into the second game, but actually Jack is a pretty good one too.
Well, Jack
If you
is
do
fucking.
it, if you do it right, if you don't do it cheap and you actually like play it
Yeah.
through, like it's actually pretty good.
Usually what I do is I pick Ashley in the first game, I pick Miranda in the second game, and then of course I get Ashley back in the third game because she seems to be the. You're both wrong. No, fuck Tolly.
Oh, you guys are boring.
God, she's a fucking teenager in the first game, you perv. She's like 17, you sicko. Oh, I was wondering if we were going to find a hot button topic among fans, and you literally just found one. When the fandom fights over the three of these women the whole fucking game.
That sounds boring.
Yeah,
Boring.
yeah, that's
Boring.
true. We do sound a little bit like women. A little,
We sound like fucking nerds. Let's be honest.
we do sound like nerds, but we also
Thank
sound a
you,
little.
Mugsykins.
No, I'm the one that's right here. Fuck you guys.
Hey, Mugsykins, they both sound. Mugsykins, you and I can both agree they sound like women.
Wow.
and
Wow.
Me and the woman think you guys sound like women.
not only that, but one of the women likes women.
Yeah, even
yeah.
better.
So,
Yeah,
Hey,
that's true.
does this mean you like us more or less, Mugsykins?
She probably likes us more, but she's laughing. She's like, you losers.
So what the
Like,
fuck
what-
is wrong with you guys? Hey, it's part of the game, all right? You don't
Yeah.
have to do it, but it's there.
Yeah.
And
It sounds boring, and you guys have turned me complete. I actually have a copy of the new one, the Legacy Edition. It was on sale for $20. I got it a couple of months ago. I have not played.
you can skip all the romance shit. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, but it sounds
Yeah.
boring. The fact that it's there and that you have to deal with conversations and talking to people, when you know what my method of talking to people is.
There's plenty of that too, and you can play as
Not enough.
You can play as a dick and pretty much kill everybody.
I get so tired of first-person shooters. Yeah, they're fun in certain aspects, but like, God, they get so gay after a while. It's like,
How do they get gay after a while? You get to kill
because it's
everything.
just an endless wave of fucking idiots to shoot. Like, I get so bored of that.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
You? No,
Yes.
it depends on how
I
you
was in the
kill them.
actual military. Like,
No.
so
But the
gay.
thing is, no. But it depends on the game and how you kill them. For example, right now I'm playing Wild West, and you have different methods of
when
killing
you
them
shoot
there.
people, they don't fly 5 feet across the fucking map. Okay, they just slump over. It's so gay. God, it's
Yeah, but that's
the
why you
Navy
don't.
is gay. Yeah, I wasn't in the Navy, so I don't have that problem.
in the Navy.
Yeah.
That's what we call those that actually were certified to fire weapons. Unlike the Navy. We call that the Marines Uber. That's the Navy. They Uber the Marines.
Were you what branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
You were in the Army? Okay, so I was going to
Yeah,
say, I was like, if you were
a
a Marine and you're talking shit about the Navy, I mean, technically you're still part of the Navy.
Oh yeah, I know. It's under the Department of the Navy, but
Marines hate that.
Yeah. Well, it's also like Marines get really butthurt too. Like, when the Army and the Marines get into it, be like the few, the proud, the dead on the beach.
Oh,
they get real grumpy.
Yeah. Well, first
grumpy.
First down.
Oh, I forgot. The Army Navy game was yesterday or today?
Wait, which one?
I think the Army Navy game was today, this morning.
Oh,
anyway.
I got this one, Henry. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't even installed it.
Oh, so Ryan ain't ready to be a Marine yet? No. I've had to detain Marines, so trust me, I've dealt with some Marines.
Yeah, I've known people from all different branches. I have family members who are all different branches, and every one of them will talk shit about all three of the others, or 4 now if you count Space Force. They all talk shit about Space Force.
Oh no, the laughing, not even Space Force, whatever. That's no. The butt of every joke is the Coasties. Yeah, so they wish they were good enough to be in the Navy.
Yeah, Carrie's a Coastie, right?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Carrie's not here then.
Ask him about their physical fitness standards because I have none.
I got to get you back on here with them to argue that out. That'll be fun.
I want to be here for that.
I'm just gonna put you two up on the screen. I'm gonna sit back and watch the views roll.
Oh, we all bag on each other like it's night. It's like cats and dogs, or it's like night and day. But as soon as like an outsider, like some jackass who has no idea about the military comes running in, like all of us just whoosh, and it's just like it's a swarm. I love it. It's like we bag the shit out of each other. But that's one thing that makes it fun, is because like you got to bet. They say that Marines eat crayons, and they say that you have to be like half retarded to get into the Army. The only one that's like somewhat respectable, I would say, is probably the hardest to get into, be the Air Force, but we also call them the Chair Force because that's all they do is sit in a fucking chair all day, like going, "Good job, clown." Like I work on a computer. Yeah, you're also a fucking homo. I don't know.
I wanted to join the Air Force, but then I didn't know any better. I wanted to be a pilot. So I was like 13. I mean, come on. I didn't know anything about it. So I didn't realize that, for example, I wouldn't be a combat pilot or any of that. I was just a kid who wanted to be like H.M. Murdoch. And
right. And then a couple years later, and you found out that, as it turns out, Arabs don't make great pilots.
Oh shit. Wow. I would like
These are just jokes, YouTube. Just jokes.
This says my dad was. Hey, my grandfather was in the Air Force. I have his picture right here. But it was back when it was the Army Air Force, so it was actually legit. I kid. We all wear the uniform. But no, legitimate. Like, I don't know anything about. I know that like the Space Force, they created that because it's kind of like Space Command was a part of the Air Force. That's basically all they're doing. They're taking space. They're taking like the Space Command or whatever. It's like what is it? It's in Colorado. I think so. Anyway, basically what they do like but anyway, that's kind of why they're separating them off. I don't know. I think it's stupid. I don't know why.
I was gonna say, are you talking about Cheyenne Mountain?
Yeah, yes.
Wait, isn't that Stargate?
No, it's a real place.
It's a real place. Yeah.
Stargate took place at Cheyenne Mountain. Cheyenne Mountain actually exists.
Yeah, it did.
They do have a Stargate program too. It says Stargate Command on a broom closet.
Well, they also literally had a Star Wars program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that I knew about.
Yeah, Cheyenne Mountain is the home of all things military intelligence and whatnot, including the bunker where they put all of the rich and famous people, and NORAD. Yeah,
NORAD's a real place too.
It's outside of Colorado Springs.
Yep. Yes, it is, and that's where the Air Force Academy is. Very, very intimate with that area. So, but. No, anyway, long story.
You think they would bring some class to Colorado Springs, but no.
No, Colorado Springs is kind of a hole.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shithole.
I went to a rave there back in what was it? What year was this? This was I want to say like 02 or 03, right?
Yeah.
And I went there with some buddies, and one of those buddies had to, shall we say, unburden himself of something while we were there, or he might get a limb broken. So
Yeah.
we were dealing with that most of the night, and one of the guys who went with us was just fucking off and not helping out, and blah. Anyway, you know how this sort of thing goes. So we left him in Colorado Springs. We left him there, and he calls us, and we're like halfway back to where we were going, a couple hours away. And he's like, "Hey, where are you guys?" It's like, "We told you to be at the car at this time. You weren't there." See,
Fuck.
took him a week.
Wild.
It took him a week to hitchhike back home. And when he got back, he was like, "Why would you guys do that?" It's like, "Well, you kind of fucked around, and you owe us a bunch of money, and you're lucky we didn't put you in a dress and on a street corner."
Holy shit. Oh,
By the way, this was years ago. I no longer have anything to do with that sort of thing. Just putting that out there. But
oh well, I would also say too that Colorado Springs has a pretty solid gay community, so he would have got solicited.
I wouldn't be surprised if something happened while he was down there after we had left. I really wouldn't, because he was not. He's pretty around the mouth and eyes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he sucked a few dicks.
But yeah, that was a long time ago in my youth when I was a dick and I hung out with bad people. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, yeah, Colorado Springs is a shithole.
$20 is $20, right?
I've never been to Colorado Springs. I've never been to Colorado.
You're not missing anything. Don't go to Denver either.
I've never been. I have actually been to. I've been to Egypt more times than I've been to other states in the United States.
I would say probably the lovely.
I was so happy I witnessed that.
I love Kat. She's so funny and she doesn't mean to be. Oh man. Yeah, you're not missing anything in Colorado. It's a gorgeous state, but God,
just go whole hog and jam a finger up there.
Yeah. Why don't you just pull them feet out too while you're at it? Feet.
Stop. Stop.
Oh God, Muggsy says some people pay good money to have someone blow their nose. Oh,
ew! Why? I don't want to know.
There's all kinds of fetishes. I'll tell you what.
There are people are sick.
People are sick. People, hey, look, there's a fetish for armpits. You know, a girl has an exposed armpit, and they're like, "Oh my God, she's showing armpit." And it's like, what?
Right?
What?
Okay.
What? Okay.
There you go, Shadow.
Like pet, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. It's Rez, you might have gotten lucky and just didn't see the seedier side of that town. Because trust me, it gets dark.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think so. It's not even that big a town. Not really.
No.
And as far as like violence and shit goes, Pueblo's much worse.
Oh God, Pueblo's a hole.
Yeah. Pueblo, Colorado. Yeah, it's one of the.
It also has the big prison there, I think, right?
It's still open since they're like closing all these.
I had an aunt that did a stint at the prison in Pueblo. So
you talking about the state penitentiary?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's another max security federal penitentiary that's up closer to Grand Junction, I think.
That's where I grew up, is in Grand Junction.
Yeah, that's wasn't that where they were going to stick John Gotti before he kicked?
Yeah, I think it was. But no, there are several places in Colorado where you drive by it and it's like on
Henry, you might be right.
Florence. Let me. I know that I've been several places in Colorado where, like, if you're driving through, it says state penitentiary or your federal penitentiary. Do not stop for hitchhikers.
There are other places where if you're driving through, it says, the cougars will eat you. Do not stop driving.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Logical says, ever been to Phantom Canyon Road? I maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of let me look it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, Colorado has fallen to the Californians, and it did so.
Yeah,
It did so decades ago. But there is actually a
it's
lot
by
of really
Cripple Creek. Okay.
Yeah, there is actually a lot of really cool stuff in Colorado.
Oh, Colorado's gorgeous, but no,
It's a beautiful area.
It's turned into California 2.0. Like
It
if
has?
I could, oh fuck, are you kidding me?
Because you don't hear a lot about Colorado. You hear about California. You don't
If
hear
you
about.
drive in downtown Denver, it looks like the streets of fucking San Francisco with the homeless. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like,
there's all kinds of shit that happens in the metro area.
it
No, 'cause
fucking
I just-
pisses me the hell off. I am so angry what they've done to Colorado. We fucking blew fucking. I'm democratic. Fuck you, you California pieces of shit. Why are you infecting other people's states?
Well,
No, well, I mean,
God,
I
you're
saw.
a cancer.
No, well, I could not believe what I saw. When they were criticizing Elon Musk for bringing beds into Twitter, and someone showed a video of the streets of San Francisco, and it's like, my God, there are just wave upon row upon street upon street of people just sleeping on the street, living in. It is horrific. What's going on?
Now imagine that in a city that's a mile above sea level with the winter coming.
Yeah, people freeze to fucking death.
I was going to say this.
Yeah, people freeze to death in downtown Denver, especially Commerce City.
Oh wait, here it is.
Oh
Ryan.
yeah. What?
Ryan.
Sorry, I was
Here it is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
It's on Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation. I have it on Xbox, obviously.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up some pictures of downtown Denver. Twitter is probably the best place to do it because they'll actually show what it looks like.
No, but this is what is happening to our country that it is. I mean, how
socialism?
How do I put this, Cat? We're in the end game now. It's been happening. You know, it's been happening. Like I said, Colorado fell to California decades ago.
Yeah, because they legalized the weed.
Well, that and when you remember when Colorado sold its aquifer rights to California.
No, I don't remember that.
This was back in the late 90s.
I didn't move there till like 95.
Okay, yeah. So this would have been not long after that. There's an aquifer, a massive aquifer. It runs under New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. Right, it supplies water to all three of these states. Colorado sold a portion of their rights to that aquifer to California for the Southern Californians to be able to water their fucking lawns instead of invest in desalination.
Jesus.
And what happened is California took so much of that water that it has depleted the aquifer to a noticeable degree. You know how hard that is to do with something that big?
Pretty difficult, I'm assuming.
And didn't just take it from Colorado.
Oh, so they not only took all of Colorado's portion.
Yeah, my parents live there, and I wish I could get them out.
Yeah, my mother lives there actually, and a number of other people I'm very close with.
So basically, you're saying no matter how awful Jersey is compared to a lot of other states, New Jersey's actually not that bad.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, and two, one of the lovely things too is when the Summer of Love was going on, basically fuck Black Lives Matter and Antifa, because it's a scam. We're not talking about legit. We're not talking about legitimate. We're talking about the people who organized it, and they have millions of dollars in houses. They were literally fucking rioting in downtown Denver by the Capitol building. They were trashing the fucking federal courthouse and stuff like that. Graffiti everywhere. Guess what? Police didn't do shit. Just like California, didn't do shit.
And what's the point? I mean, this is insane. They're tearing our country apart.
Yeah, because they're doing it for social justice.
How is that social justice?
It isn't about the social justice. It's never been about social justice. Social justice is what they get all of the young kids hooked on so that they will go out and do their fucking bidding. The point is to tear the country down.
Yep.
That is the goal.
Because Because without the rule of law, we're just animals.
And
So,
without
but
the
what
example
is
of the
the
West,
ultimate goal? I don't understand.
well, without the
Destroying.
example of the West, right? If the world is in disarray and chaos, and somebody say comes along and provides a shining example, or hey, I can help you guys out. All you got to do is kiss the ring, like Darth fucking Schwab. Out of the chaos will rise a new order under one fucking man. That's the point.
Have you heard about the line?
He's a fucking Bond villain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard about the line in Saudi Arabia, and they're crazy.
Yeah. Guess what? That's part of the World Economic Forum. We're all going to live on fucking top of each other, and in a fucking, you know, we're going to have maximum space because it's a line and we're not so spread out. It's like, great, I'm going to get to drink other people's pee for water. Well, we filtered it. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, on top of that, add the depopulation where they're like sterilizing their own kids or aborting their own kids. There's going to be, you don't even need the line because you're going to have so few people left.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like 9 billion people will likely be at by the time they actually seize power is unmanageable. They have to reduce that to a manageable population level, which means they have to kill billions of people.
What did Bill Gates say recently about controlling population through injections, through vaccinations?
Yeah.
He really said that. People are like, how
he said it before they started rolling that shit out. He said it fucking years ago.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been open about exactly what his fucking plans are. Just nobody was paying attention because they thought, oh, he's that lovable joker from Windows.
No, you know? he's a fucking Bond villain too.
You know, he's like he's more like Jaws, right? Jaws worked for a guy, but he was still a villain.
Yeah. No, I would definitely. But I mean, what George Soros after the 2022 midterm elections just donated $50 million to the Democratic National Convention. That's a lot of cheddar.
Sole goal is the destabilization of the last bastion of the West.
Because let's see, the two people leading the charge on this have strong ties to the Third Reich. What was the Third Reich's sole goal? Was to unite the world under one flag and conquer it all. That's
and
weird.
Eventually remove all but a manageable portion of the population, all of whom shared phenotypes. You know, so yeah, that's what we're looking at. I mean, eventually, good news is that if they do succeed, eventually they'll start turning on each other.
Oh, absolutely, and we see it all the time. You know, as soon as one of the chosen steps out of line and says, "Well, I'm not sure about that." Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure about this whole thing about maybe teaching certain things to kids, and they're like, "You're a bigot. You were just hiding it," and it's just like whoosh, and they swamp, and it's like. You either you do the Maoist struggle session, which is legitimately a thing, where you get chastised by everybody.
Look at what happened to J.K. Rowling. That is a perfect example of someone who was lockstep with the left, said one fucking thing that they disagree with, and she has been thrown to the wolves.
Well, look at what happened to Gina Carano. Disney literally said, "Well, we'll forgive you if you get on a Zoom call with like 40 other people and they can air their grievances about how you have wronged the LGBT, whatever." Basically, she would have to sit there and get yelled at and called names and apologize for that, because that's how you bend the knee and say, "I'm so sorry.
Right.
Please let me back in.
I got your I'm so sorry right here." That's what I got.
I would rather die on my feet than cower on my knees.
Yeah, same. Which is why I probably want to be one of the first people shot.
In Minecraft,
I might get stabbed. You know,
in Minecraft,
I'm not taking stabbing off the table. That might happen to me.
Well, what do you think what they're doing with social media? That's how they diminish the voices of actual logical thought. Compared to the people, they amplify the people. There are literally paid shills on Twitter. That Brooklyn dad is one of them. He gets paid to spread the literally DNC propaganda.
That guy's such a fucking asshat.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that guy is so annoying.
Yeah, there are numerous ones. I mean, I've literally called out several of them, you know, because they're like, oh, Joe Biden, such the best. You know, they retweet, they literally just vomit the message, and they get paid to do so. And they have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media who are just like, oh my god. The amount of people on the president's fucking account when he says something like, thank you so much, sir. You're the best president of my lifetime. And I'm like, are you drinking? No,
They must be drunk.
they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed. It's not hard. The CIA has been fucking, you know, sending subliminal messages through television and media for fucking since the 60s.
It has.
So yeah, woohoo! Conspiracy theories. I love conspiracy theories. You know why? Because most of them turn out to be true.
That's
Well, in order for there to be a theory, there's got to be a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, they're not censoring conservatives on Twitter. That's absurd. Oops.
yeah. Oops. It might have been.
There's not a problem with certain 2020 issues when you press buttons and the machine doesn't work. Oops.
yeah. So, you know, and it all comes back to the same group of people
Mm-hmm.
who has their fingers in every pie on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to go all like Kanye with like the who's they thing, because I was specifically talking about the organization, the World Economic Forum.
Mm-hmm.
Those people in particular. Not all of them are of a particular, you know, subset of people. So no, I'm not saying that, but I am saying that. I mean, hell, who do we know is under their thumb? Who's in a position of power? Right? You got Gavin Newsom, you got Justin Trudeau, you got Joe Biden. That's just on this continent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? King Charles, Macron, Ardern in New Zealand.
Xi Jinping.
To a degree, yeah, I would say that's true. I think that it's more of a our goals align right now kind of deal with him. But
I would legitimately say that him and Klaus Schwab are very friendly. I mean, because
how friendly?
Well, as they got their fingers in each other's fucking pie, considering Klaus Schwab.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I guess pie could be code for butthole.
I think I'd gone long enough without playing that clip. Although I did get hit for copyright the last 2 times I used it by the guy who did the music.
Yeah, but if you look at the copyright, it says no impact.
Yeah, so
they're just claiming this is ours, but it's like they're not. Like if you were a monetized channel, which obviously we're all, you know, you're gonna get there. Yeah, they wouldn't take anything from you. Because I've played a couple. I've played some music from a movie back in 2020, and they used to clip me on it and claim it. Now when I play it, like it just says, you know, no impact, and I'm like, that was a change because it was a movie on Netflix.
See,
which I was shocked.
I had that same thing happen. Actually, the first time I used that clip was on an Abyssal Musings. It was not last night's, obviously, but last week's, and we also played the trailer for Cocaine Bear from Universal, and they claimed it, but there was just like the same thing happened there. They're just like, yeah, we just want you to know we own this.
Yeah. So no, I think there are. I think some companies are starting to bend the knee a little bit because they realize that it looks kind of bad when you're constantly fucking hitting YouTubers who are trying to talk about, you know, your upcoming movie, and it's like, oh, well, we're gonna hit you for it. And it's like, okay, well now it's either I have to cut that section out because you hit me for it, or I have to fight it and have the possibility of you saying, if you don't remove this, we're gonna strike your channel. So I think they're realizing it's not exactly. Yes, Cocaine Bear is a real movie inspired by true events. Apparently, this
loosely inspired by true events. But in 1985, yes, in the Pacific Northwest, a bunch of cocaine fell out of an airplane during a shipment, and a bear found it and ate something like I don't know, it was like
14
100
million. Yes,
it was like
something
100
wild.
kilos or something, way too much, right?
Yeah.
In the movie, which is where it differs from reality, the bear gets super high and goes on a killing rampage. In reality, what happened was the bear freaked out for about 10 minutes, then its heart exploded because it just ate 100 kilos of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it died.
Yeah, it went on like something like fucking just like a locomotive, and then its heart fucking exploded.
Yeah, I can't wait for that fucking. I just found out it's gonna have a theatrical release, man. That is gonna be so much fun.
You want to hear what's even more funny is that Elizabeth Banks is the one who's directing it.
You know, I think that I know where you're going with this, and I think that Elizabeth Banks can be competent when she's not shilling for the
Wait,
message.
who?
Elizabeth Banks, she's the one who did the new
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh,
like, my movie failed because of misogyny and sexism, and it's like, no, it's because we had some Charlie's Angels movies in the 90s that were actually pretty good, and nobody gives a shit about your fucking agenda now. So, and it took a shit, but then of course, beforehand they were fucking talking shit, and it's just, you get what you deserve.
yeah. No, so oh god, what was it? I got distracted by something. No, yeah, I haven't seen that though. That looks great. Cocaine Bear. That looks awesome. No, I got hit by a copyright strike from Bungie that I keep bringing up that really pissed me off because Paul McCartney did a song for the original Destiny called Hope for the Future, and it will play on jukeboxes. And in the original Destiny, it plays on a jukebox. And in Destiny 2, in a part of the map that they removed, the jukebox reappears. And if you go into this lost sector, it'll play that song or pieces of that song. And I had like a clip of it as part of while I'm playing Destiny 2. And I got copyright struck over that. It's like, it's in your game.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes me so angry when you get a claim from a video game. I got claimed on the first person shooter Hell Let Loose, and this is actually a point I was going to make earlier. One reason that I like Hell Let Loose over, let's say, Call of Duty is because you don't get shot 57 times in Hell Let Loose before you die. Like if you get fucking blasted like 2 bullets to the sternum, you're dead. It's like really close to like fucking real life. And that's why I like it. It's based on World War II.
There was a samurai game years ago that was like that.
Yeah, like it drives me nuts when you're like in Call of Duty and like the guy's jumping around and it's like you're like, dude, I've hit you like 80 times. Like the hell, man. I've got armor on. No, what the fuck? That's so
yeah,
gay.
yeah. That is.
Sorry, Kat. I got a lot of love for you, but I do not like games like that. They drive me nuts.
Hey, well, in Destiny, I'm a guardian from the last safe city. I'm an immortal.
That's okay. Kat has her guilty pleasure, and it's first person, homosexual shooters like fucking Call of Duty and Destiny.
Right.
Homosexual.
Hey, look, Destiny's the one that has fucking, a human trying fucking a robot. I don't know.
Destiny.
Look,
Destiny
they're pushed. I don't fucking care. It's a part of the series.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I don't think he's gay. I think he's homosexual.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even know that was a term until you just said that. All right.
I made it up.
They got her. Twitter's got her, dude.
I'm making it up. I'm like, what the hell? The guy likes a robot.
She's gonna start having a hijab that's fucking rainbow colored.
I think, Kat, I think we need to butch this shit up.
The fact that the fact it has the fucking Jack Murphy beard, it's awesome. Fucking killer, dude.
Yeah. So because Shadow apparently had never heard of this, and because I just fucking love watching this trailer, and I mean we're at 2.5 hours, whatever. They'll hit us if they hit us. We're gonna watch this Cocaine Bear trailer because it's awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab another drink, but I've already seen it, so you don't have to wait for me.
I have not seen it, so.
Okay, yeah, I want to see what Kat thinks.
All right, let's see. Share audio. Cocaine Bear. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think we should wait for Ryan to get back?
I don't know. He
Chat, how do
said
you feel about it?
Robophilia. I've been pumping them weights. Yeah. Karen lifting them TVs.
Shit, yeah. Okay. Mexican says wait.
He
Oh,
did
that's
say-
fine by me. I cannot fucking wait to see this movie, guys. I can't. And it's got a theatrical release, which means they're going to be a psychotic, high as shit bear on a 3-story screen. It's going to be
Cool.
glorious.
Hey, well, it's finally nice to see a movie that's just crazy ass insanity.
Yeah. Well, Kohai asked for it. That's not going to get old either. All right, you're back.
Yeah.
We
Why?
decided to wait
What?
for you.
Why the penis?
We were filling time until you got back.
Yeah,
You're acting like I do this a lot.
Yeah. Way to make it easier.
At this point, I'm like, dude, let the good times roll.
Do it.
Mugsikins, well, I'll have to see. I tell you what, if you don't go watch it, I'll watch it and I'll let you know. Or no, you're talking about Transformers. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, no, Transformers.
All right.
fuck
No,
yeah.
let's watch the bear.
Oh yeah, we'll talk.
Medic.
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
God, that sounds amazing on my headphones.
Yeah.
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
It's not a deer.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it. No, don't eat that. Don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on you.
The bear. It fucking did cocaine. A bear did cocaine.
I can't wait.
I know, right?
Hey, that's inappropriate.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna pause it right here for a couple of seconds. But yeah, that I'm actually surprised we didn't get hit for this song too.
That is awesome.
Well, what's kind of funny too is that this is Ray Liotta's last movie because of course this would be Ray Liotta's last movie.
Well, it's like you know what fucking now I can't remember. I mean, he was in Three's Company. John. You know what I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
John Ritter.
Thank you, John Ritter. Thank you.
John Ritter's last movie was fucking Seed of Chucky or Bride of Chucky or some shit like that.
Was it? I didn't know that. I never saw that, so I couldn't.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was kind of like, eh.
Yeah. So, but you know, I Ray Liotta is almost always worth watching. So I'm good.
Oh yeah. I mean, because Ray Liotta is a very unique actor, and it's never dull. I'll say that.
Yeah. Mexicans, that is true. A bear did just attack white people, but that one white person was very clearly gay. So, I mean, there's a little bit of representation for you.
Well, I will say this, and I know you watched Wednesday, and you weren't a fan, but Wednesday, the series on Netflix got a lot of grief because they made black people bullies.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's almost like these people complaining about shit have never interacted with another human being of any type whatsoever.
No.
Like they can't stop complaining about anything. If they had made them the good guys, they would have had something to complain about. They literally have to find something to complain about. That's about it.
They would have complained that there weren't enough racist white people for the good black people to hate.
Hey, Alexia.
Hey. It's just one of those things that it's like, good God. Like, this is what happens when you cave to retards who are like, oh my God, guess what? If you cave to a spoiled child, guess what? They complain later on down the line. They throw another temper tantrum. You're going to give them to them
because they know you're going to give in.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
now they know you're going to give in. Now they know they can get what they want.
Yeah,
Like
and now we have to walk it back and be like, we literally have to act like fucking parents to these man baby adults.
I hate that too. It's not like they're my fucking kids.
No.
Yeah, why the hell should I care what
I
they
have
think?
my own kids. Why the hell am I wasting time raising someone else's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any goddamn kids, but you know what? I don't want to raise an adult child.
Yeah.
I would rather raise my own children in the future. But I don't want to fucking have to police your ass up because you are so dysfunctional that you can't get over the fact that there were black people who are bullies in a Netflix show.
Yeah. So let's smile a little bit because
I will watch this in theater. This is one of the only
Yeah.
movies I'll do it.
this is good.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with the man forever.
That is a beautiful line.
Yeah.
Apex predator. High on cocaine. Out of its mind. Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear? Shoot it, man! Speed up! Get higher, baby, and don't ever come down.
What's fucking?
We have such good luck in nature.
Yeah. Oh my God! And there's those fucking hippie style people who fucking they go on their like little nature things and they're
Fuck,
unprepared
man, you grew up in Colorado. That shit happens all the time.
all the time.
All the fucking time. Like, there was a hiker who disappeared in like the late 80s, right? They found her like 10 years ago, stuffed in a crevasse, what was left of her, where the fucking cougar that killed her didn't finish her.
Yep.
Like ate most of her, but what was left of her, they found stuffed in a crevasse in a random fucking canyon.
Like fucking Colorado, Montana, dude. Fucking people go missing all the fucking time and they don't find them for fucking years. Why are you laughing? Cat's like good.
This is just, I mean, I
Yeah, Muggsy, it's like it is what it is. At this point, we're not going to get like I know that people say, "Oh, Hollywood's turning around." It might take a few years, but they're starting to get the message now. No, they're fucking not. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. So I'm going to take what good I can.
Yeah,
because I think Tom from the Rogue Attraction last night and Match Tech Mags actually made a pretty good point that I was aware of, but I don't like factor in all the time. I may be a little overly sensitive to the woke shit.
yeah.
Oh, I would agree. Trust me. And
Yeah.
and there are times it really fucking it just crawls inside of you. You're like, you mother.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go into this and I'm going to be like, look, I want to enjoy this. I'm going to try to enjoy this. And so I will.
All it'll take though is the director or the writer or an
Yeah.
actor.
That's why you got
say
to. I know
one
it's part of the
fucking
gig,
thing.
man. I know it's part of the YouTube gig, but it really helps if you just stop listening to those people.
I know. Well, I know, but at the same time, I have been a huge fan. I think probably my dream job for the longest time would have been like, movie and television, critic, they used to call them, where you review stuff, watch it, because I have been the biggest fan of cinema for so long. And I used to go to the movie theater fucking religiously. I don't go anymore because there's barely anything that I
Yeah.
really feel is worth it. I'll review it, but I do it by sailing, the high seas, and that's unfortunate because, I think most movie critics are idiots. I think they get in their own way. But I try to do the best I can to be nuanced, and that's why when I, like actually nuanced, like, so when I watched Wednesday, I was like, ooh, there's some stuff, but at the same time, though, I had fun with the show, and I thought Jenna Ortega did a very good job, even though there was criticism over her being cast, as Wednesday Addams, but she fucking nailed it. She really fucking nailed. I almost think that she did a better job than Christina Ricci from watching, from my childhood. And I'm being dead serious. That's not a joke.
I actually just watched the Adams because they put Adams Family and Adams Family Values up on Netflix when they released that. And I just rewatched the first Adams Family, and I would say that has more to do with their ages at the time.
Oh no, absolutely, I'd agree.
Yeah,
I would agree, but I think it goes into that thing of like, oh well, you get people who are like, you're ruining my childhood, like you're changing this. I understand some of that stuff to a certain degree, but at the same time, there definitely has to be nuance if you're going to be an honest reviewer. And I love the G&G crew. I love I love the cast of Friday Night Tights, but sometimes, and I made a video in opposition to them because Emma Darcy, who plays Rhaenyra Targaryen, the older version on House of the Dragon,
I know.
she was an honoree for men of the year, and it's like,
wait, what? Oh,
Yeah.
right, that
Yeah.
was so dumb. I'm
It
sorry.
was-
no,
it was absolutely
non-binary does not make you eligible for Man of the Year.
absolutely, but she wasn't the one who said something. It was GQ that did it. GQ nominated her. Now, yes, she has been open and honest about the fact she identifies as non-binary. She said, I'm really good at playing a woman, and like people made fun of her because you're a fucking woman. And it's like, but she is, and I pulled up articles going back, days, even almost like 3 weeks where there's nothing controversial she has said to the media in an article, about non-binary this or more representation that. And I feel she got an unfair shake on that one because GQ nominated her.
Yeah, I remember.
She didn't nominate herself. So that's why I'm like, look, I'm going to find the nuance, call out what's bullshit. And I'm also going to defend what somebody, when somebody doesn't put themselves in that bullshit fucking limelight. So that's where I'm coming from.
Real quick. Shadow, it could be. Sure, it could be, but so was Princess Mononoke, and that was great. And it could also be about a bear that ate a fuck ton of cocaine and ate a bunch of people that it could reach. Like, fun fact, guys, and this is, it's a bit stereotypical, but stereotypes do have some basis in reality. How many people who are not white go camping?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, in reality, mostly because they're not dumb enough to be like, hey, I've got this perfectly good bed. I should go sleep in the dirt.
Look, I'm gonna be yeah.
That's a white people thing. So I expect more white people to die in this movie for that reason alone.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. That is 1,000% spot on. You see, like, if you see Kevin Hart and stuff like that, like when he's been on like Jimmy Kimmel and stuff, not Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. I hate Jimmy Kimmel. At least Jimmy Fallon, even though he's a drunk, he is actually pretty funny. But when they do like animal stuff, like Kevin Hart is not about the animals. He's like, nope, I'm not, like, humans shouldn't be near fucking with animals. Don't be near, like, and he's like freaked out about him. And it's literally a classic representation of, there are certain groups of people who are like, the fuck are you screwing with that animal for? And then you got white people who are like, oh my God, look at the baby lion. I'm going to pet it. And then
let's poke it with a stick.
And then it fucking claws you and opens your arm up. And you're like, yeah, because they're still fucking bigger than a house cat and they have claws. Anybody who has house cats, like, literally, like, you can see my fucking hand. That's from a kitten. Because she bites too hard. Like, animals are always going to out dominate humans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the only reason that we're on top of the food chain is because we got opposable thumbs in the frontal cortex. That's it. That is the only reason. And our ingenuity. If we didn't have guns and the ability to use them, we would be lion food.
Yep.
Every one of us. Because we don't run fast. We don't climb fast. We don't swim fast. Not by comparison to everything else in nature. I don't care how fast Jackie Joyner Kersey runs. And that woman was amazing. She ran like the damn wind. She's not getting past a cheetah.
No
one is.
So it's just, like, the fact of the matter. I mean, even alligators can outrun us on land.
Yes. That's why they tell you to zigzag.
And they weigh 8 times what we do. So, and yes, bears do climb trees.
Yes. Like a fucking emu will kill you if it kicks you in the stomach. It'll literally disembowel you like a fucking velociraptor. One kick and you catch them claws. That's a goddamn bird. It's a big ass bird, but it's a fucking bird.
Yeah. So it's like there's another really annoying leftist account on Twitter, Lakota Man. But he said one thing that I liked and I reposted because he's dead on balls accurate about this. And he was referring to a recent death in Yellowstone National Park. Don't pet the fluffy cows.
No, what are you fucking touching a fucking bison for?
Don't fuck with the fluffy cows because they will fuck you up.
Wait, what happened? Somebody actually tried to pet the fluffy
This
cow.
happens, Kat. This happens every damn year. So some tourist or other goes out there and tries to get close to one and touch one or feed one or whatever, and then they get trampled or gored.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like the running of the bulls. Like
It's always some dude from, like, no offense, New Jersey, who's never seen one before.
don't pet the fucking wildlife. Bison is delicious. Don't pet it.
Yeah, they are. They're not like they're. That's the other thing. People don't realize how fucking big these things are.
They're the size of a small SUV. Like if you take a fucking what is it? A Ford Escape, like the medium sized fucking little SUV. They're the size of that.
Yeah, I'd have the common sense to stay away from that. And I'm from New Jersey.
So it's that you would think so, right? But every year we get at least 2 or 3 deaths in Yellowstone due to tourists fucking around with wildlife they shouldn't have been.
So that would actually be an interesting kind of be like, yeah, you know your cousin Joe? Yeah, he tried to pet the fluffy cows. He was killed in Yellowstone. I mean, that kind of conversation, be like, you remember that guy, Bob, who went on vacation last week? Yeah, Bob ain't coming back. What happened to Bob? Got trampled by.
It was either he got trampled by the fluffy cows or he was carrying around a sandwich in his pocket and the fucking bears got him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the people who don't properly fucking, when you go camping and black bears are notoriously, they are more aggressive than grizzlies.
Well, there are also more of them than grizzlies.
Yes. Well, yeah, there are. But black bears are notoriously territorial. A grizzly might see you and be like, fuck off and walk away.
Yeah, it depends on the part of the world and the specific breed of grizzly. Kodiaks, for example, are extremely aggressive.
Kodiaks are the most aggressive.
They're technically grizzlies. They are the largest species of brown bear. But
you're talking about like North Canada, Alaska, stuff like that.
Yeah. But you got like your grizzlies from the Rockies down in the lower 48 and whatnot are still huge. But they tend to be
still a fucking 9 foot bear.
Yeah, you still don't fuck with them. You don't get in their way. You don't mess with their kids. You don't carry food around them. But they might decide to leave you alone.
Yeah, I think Kodiaks are the ones that actually get over 10 feet, right?
They get up to 12, I think. And
that's what I was thinking.
Bears can get up to 15.
Yeah, and a black bear can still get to like fucking 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
and it's not like 6 foot of like me. It's 6 foot of literally. If that bear hit me in the face fucking once, I'd be dead.
You've seen those videos of like bears, black bears, even just taking the side off of a fucking steel dumpster to get at the food inside.
Yes,
like they just peel it open like a fucking can opener.
Yep.
They're extraordinarily strong. And they one swipe of that paw, they don't even have to hit you with the claws. Their paw alone is strong enough to actually remove your head from your shoulders. You know how hard it is to separate a spinal column? How much pressure that takes, and it's no effort for them, none.
Oh, have you seen some of the videos where you get like people's like summer houses where it's like it's in the wilderness and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you see the inside video of like the front door, like the actual door being just like it's like flexing, and all of a sudden like third try, boom, and then you got a black bear just
Yeah, my mother told me. I got a couple stories about bears. I think they're both pretty good. My mother told me about this time she went to Alaska. She had friends who lived in Nome, which is pretty far north. It's not quite as far north as like Barrow, but it's up there, And she was staying up there, and there was a guy who was at the B&B that she was at, and he got strapped, right? He put rifle after rifle after pistol after all this ammo on, just coated himself with arms, all within easy reach, you know, and was about to go out the door. She's like, "Where are you going with all that?" And he's like, "Oh, for a walk." And she goes, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Oh, today's the day the bears wake up. So I'm keeping this on me in case I have to kill something that's trying to eat me, because they're going to be hungry." He's like, "But I'm just going for a walk. I'm going to go around the block a little bit. That's it."
If you want to ward off a bear, you need a large caliber gun.
Yeah. So, and when I was probably about 11 years old. You ever been to Beaver Meadows, man?
Where's it at?
It's in North Colorado. If you take 287 through Fort Collins up to the Forks, right on your way to Wyoming, and it splits there. It's this like little resort area that's
maybe.
notorious for its beavers, and they do
Beaver Meadows.
Yeah, they do horse riding. They do or horseback riding. They do in the wintertime, they do cross country skiing. There's like, tubing. There's rafting, all that stuff. They have like they're called Beaver Meadows because of all the fucking beavers building dams in the creeks and shit. And there's yeah, it's just a little tourist resort. It's not quite as like high end as Aspen or Breckenridge.
How far is it? Is it close to Fort Collins, or is it past that?
You go through Fort Collins to get to it. If you're going north on 287.
Okay, all right. No, I have not been that far north.
Okay. Well, it's just this nice little pocket in the middle of the Rockies, right? So my dad gets a job out there to help take care of the horses and, control the beaver population and that sort of thing. And so as part of his perks, he got a condo to live in because he was there year round. So, my parents were split up, so we'd spend some time with him, some time with my mom and all that stuff. So one of the weekends we were with him, I'm sleeping on a couch in this itty bitty little condo, right? And I there's this big bay window right next to the door, and the curtains are closed and everything. Middle of the night, I start hearing this scratching out on the porch. And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I get up and I peek around and at the curtain, and there's a goddamn brown bear going through our trash.
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay. So I make as little noise as possible. I'm 11 years old. I sneak back. I wake up. Daddy's like, what? And I was like, "Dad, there's a bear going through the trash." He's like, "Okay, give me a second." And his eyes are still closed and shit. He gets up. He's got his boxers on. He's hanging out of them, and he's not wearing anything else. He grabs his gun and he just charges out the door, screaming and yelling and waving his arms around. The bear took off for the fucking hills.
Yeah. I mean, if you surprise a bear like that, most of the time they will take off. But if usually when they're rummaging around looking for food and stuff like that, they're not looking most of the time for a fight. It comes to a territorial thing when most human beings have an issue. It's like you're walking on a trail, and stuff like that. And yeah, you want to be as loud as possible because that's gonna frighten the animal.
Right. And my dad was not a small man. He's a very big man, and all of his considerable bulk was on display. And yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyway, but he scared the crap out of me. The only reason he took the gun was just in case, because the bear's not going to recognize the gun. No, maybe the scent of it, but it wouldn't necessarily understand that if it's never been shot at. But it did recognize, this big threatening thing coming screaming at it, like, "Get the fuck away from my territory,"
Yeah. I mean, you even see the videos of mountain lions, or as you want to call it, a cougar or something like that, attacking hikers and stuff. And you're talking about territorial and predatory animals. We are very low on the fucking food chain if we don't have a fucking gun. And even if you do have a gun, there's that video of that cougar that kept charging at the guy, and finally it got close enough where he shot at it, and I don't think he hit it, but it actually scared the mountain lion off. And then there was also another video of guy hit a mountain lion on the head with a fucking bow or something like that. I can't remember. It's fucking wild in the wilderness. If you go out there and you're not prepared, you will die.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't even have to be one of the big predators that'll get you. If you're not prepared, you're probably going to die of exhaustion, dehydration, or exposure. And them's the facts. We got weak as a species.
We're too
and we were weak by comparison to other species to begin with.
We're probably the most alien species on this planet. We don't fit in we don't insert well in any type of environment, and we are very frail.
Well, like we can communicate to a degree with certain higher primates like chimpanzees and gorillas, for example, right? Which shows that there is some cognitive similarity there, which is great. But we lack their fucking teeth, and we lack the strength in their arms that they can actually twist a man's head off with. We don't have those advantages. They do.
Well, look at that video of the orangutan, where dude was kind of like in the orangutan just grabbed it, reached through, grabbed his leg, and dude was like, oh fuck, like that orangutan could literally rip that guy's fucking leg off.
Yeah. Shadow says, and the dolphins. Don't forget the dolphins, dude. I don't hang out with struggle snugglers. I'm sorry. Dolphin love. Is
there a dolphin love joke that I don't understand? Is it because dolphins will hump human women when they're menstruating?
Yes.
They will?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, dolphins are notoriously rapey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of makes you wonder why everybody's so keen on swimming with them, huh?
Yeah. Like literally animals smell that no matter who you are.
You can't hide that. That's just it's a natural scent.
It's why the girl who got and there's obviously other concerning allegations there, but what's her name, Alinity or whatever, her dog, there are videos of her dog being all up in her fucking pooter. Like, she's like, I was on my period, and it's like, well, that would make sense. However, at the same time, though, there's too many videos of your dog being in your fucking pooter. You're not on your shit that much.
Oh, and there was that thing she said.
Oh yeah, I tried to find context in that, like nuance. Like, well,
there's no nuance there. She said she fucked her dog.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, maybe she's saying that the only guy she's sleeping with is her dog, meaning in the bed, but not actually sleeping together. And I kept watching, and I'm like, it just doesn't come off like that. It comes off the other way. And I was just like, I wanted to do a video, but I was like, I can't find the nuance in this. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, it's not.
I tried to find the nuance.
Wait, who is? I know I've heard that name before. Alinity.
She's a big TikTok or a Twitch thought.
Big
Twitch. She's a Twitch personality. She's a very big Twitch personality. I think.
Well, she got in trouble for throwing her cats too.
Well, as it turns out, she might not be whoring around, so thought's probably inaccurate. She's very clearly loyal to the one lover who barks.
I mean, that dog has actively humped her on stream.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. No one knows why she did it or why she had copped to it on fucking the internet.
Oh, there was also a poll though too, or something like that, where I think they did a survey, surveying younger women or something like that, and supposedly like over 50% have admitted the fact that they've had relations with their dog.
Like, what the fuck, man? I was like, are we just talking about an accidental peanut butter kind of thing, or is this like a regular deal that you really like?
It was supposed to. I guess it was anonymous, so like they weren't like interviewed; they were surveyed, and then of course the survey was tucked away. They didn't have to. Supposedly, it's something like over 50% have had relations with their dog. Yeah.
You know what? I don't care about saving us anymore. Fuck us all. Just burn it all down.
Yeah.
So I guess beware of a girl who has a real affinity for her dog.
A real alinity for her dog?
Yeah, a real alinity for her dog, especially if it's especially if it's male. I don't understand. If you see pictures, look, I don't like the Twitch thoughts, but she's a pretty girl. If
she is a pretty girl, but
she could probably, and she's 35 or something, like 36. She's teetering on the edge of relevancy. So I don't know. Maybe she does that for relevance. I don't know.
Oh, hey, there's Larry.
Hey,
Certain canine server with a foot. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I believe that. I keep telling you, Shadow, we don't all know each other. Racist.
I just want to say for the record, to Larry, I was first in the chat and you were third.
Oh, you're gonna do that? You're gonna start that fight?
Oh, I'm gonna do it. Larry had a lot of caps to say to me back. It was the whole reply was all caps. I was dying laughing. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, geez. Hey, Logical Spock. No. How's that strike it? No, I'm not gonna look that up. I don't want to know. No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
That kind of reminds me of the time that one of my former coworkers who's gay, he's like, yeah, you ever heard of docking? And he was talking to me and another coworker who we're cool, you know, we're all friends, we're all joke and get along, but the two of us were look, I'm just saying you can scroll to the beginning of the chat. I said first, you were very much third.
Oh man, this never gets old.
Look, buddy. Sometimes you got to take that L. It's a little tough to take, but sometimes you just got to let the lube slide it right in with that L.
You know, that's the
last thing I'm gonna say. It's gonna be like, fuck this. Oh God, not the penis.
Oh God.
And again, just because I love my new memes here and I'm playing with them, we need to butch this stream up right fucking now. Boom.
That's roided up right there.
Yeah. Hey, Kat, how do you go from this to this?
Well, apparently when I start doing guy stuff, I go guy. I don't know. I still haven't figured the whole thing out yet.
Dude, fucking Kohai and Larry have such a big rivalry. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
good.
I've only poked a couple of buttons, but every time Kohai says something, Larry's like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. I did have an advantage. I admit I had an advantage because I was invited on the stream. So of course I got the tag on Twitter. I'll give Larry a little bit of an olive branch. If I'm not here next week, then maybe he'll be first. We'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, that's yes, Zillage, it is the Jack Murphy beard because it is the butchest, most manly beard ever.
Oh, absolutely.
All that fucking product in it.
Such a man. Like, you know, nothing says manly like having your fucking heels by your fucking ears. So somebody on Chatterbait can see your butthole.
Yeah, okay.
And not just your butthole, mind you. He's being nice.
Well, that was the main focus.
No. But it wasn't so much that there was a butthole present. It was what was done with and to that butthole.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to
look, it was adjacent. Okay, it never entered. Adjacent. That makes it drastically less gay. Apparently,
I saw all this stuff. That's not entirely accurate.
Oh, I know.
I'm thanking Jeremy
from the
ordering for that. Thank you so much for that because there are things in my mind that will never be scrubbed clean.
And I do not want them in my mind. You see, when the whole Jack Murphy thing, I got so sick to death of everyone was making like 5 videos a day. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't care. I don't care about this guy. I don't care.
Funny story that ties us back a little bit to you remember me bringing up Undead Chronic earlier in the stream. It was a member of his war band, his chat, his war band as he calls them, who posted those super chats that got this whole ball fucking rolling. It was them that did it, and I believe it was them that dug up some of the shit that he would have preferred remain buried.
I have a quick question. Not on this topic. Do you think Larry's still in the chat? Because Kohai said, why an olive branch? Just give him one of your dildos, Ryan. Look, he's already taken enough dildos for tonight with that L. Like, because dude, wow.
Larry's got a pretty good. It's a good thing he's got a pretty damn good sense of humor.
Well, you usually have to have a pretty good sense of humor when you're a coastie, because
true.
nobody takes you seriously.
Yeah. Oh no, Larry's not Coast Guard.
I thought. No.
Carrie.
Sorry. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, we were.
Larry was.
We're over 3 hours. I'm starting to get a little.
Yeah. No,
I'm kidding.
I think,
this is iced tea.
I think Larry, what were you? Army?
Oh, nice.
I think he was Army. I might be wrong about that, but I think he was Army.
If he was Army, that would explain why he has a good sense of humor. Because trust me, we clown the shit out of each other too. He's yelling at me again.
Yeah. There's that good sense of humor on display.
What was your MOS, dude? I was I started out 95 Bravo and then they changed it to 31 Bravo. Same thing, but still.
Larry, you've got the link. You can come on this panel and defend yourself.
Well, I have to be honest. I gotta bounce in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's almost 9:30. But no, I would definitely be on a panel with Larry next time to where we can talk about veteran shit.
Sure,
because we all clown the shit out of each other.
Sure.
My MS was kick your ass. And then he finishes with "Shut up, Kohai."
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. All right, so I guess I didn't even realize how long we'd been on. It's
oh no, this has been a fucking blast, dude. Like it flew the fuck by. But we did 3 hours last night and now again tonight.
Yeah. So that said, I guess we will probably close it out here. Everybody got to go. I got to pee, that sort of thing. And yes, I know that people are like, oh, well, that's too much information. Well, I disagree. I think that too much information would be telling you how the urine is made.
Or if you were to go, too much information would go into detail about how you pee. It tells you have specific habits when you pee, and if I were to go into details about how we have a bidet in my house and all the details on that, then that would be too much information. But I gotta pee.
Oh, I was just gonna say because Larry said I was, because Larry said the only L's I take is legendary. Well, apparently you took a fucking massive legendary L today because you were. I got a screenshot of it, dude.
So does he.
Yeah. You sent it to him too. He's like, you fucker. Look, Larry. Look, we all get slow in our older age. It's cool, buddy. Don't worry about it.
It's good stuff. All right, so closing out. Kat, what you got coming up?
I'll probably be live streaming tomorrow. I don't know what video game I will be live streaming tomorrow, either Evil West or Callisto Protocol or who knows what. It's just not going to be Destiny 2. And
there's a new comment.
Oh man, you know how good it is to end on a fucking laugh?
Yes, it's actually great to finally end on a laugh.
Well,
Ryan, buddy, what do you got coming up?
I'm here for the people. Well, tomorrow night should have the Phoenix Legions podcast on my Legion Wire channel with my co-host. We usually talk politics and stuff like that, but we also dabble in pop culture. Also, definitely join us on my Legion Talk channel. We're going to be doing with Joker Voice and Lily 300 Mirrors. Going to be doing Game of Thrones a season 1 episode number 6, reviewing that. So it's a lot of fun coming here. I love the chat, man. I'm telling Lioness on you. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's been, you guys have been fire today. We appreciate all of you. As for me, you can obviously find me here. This is my channel. This is the main show on the channel. And Lawrence, who is apparently losing his shit in the chat right now, is my co-host on Thursday nights for Abyssal Musings. And we might have some other stuff coming up. Where I'm looking into new games like Evil West here might be the next one on Infamous Gaming. We'll see what happens there. Otherwise, by the way, go watch Legion Talk. I was on Legion Talk last night. It was a lot of fun.
That
Go
was a
watch
lot of
those
fun.
guys. They're hilarious every week, every Friday. And also, there's a great show that Kat does with our very own Shadow of Hawk on what is Thursday afternoons generally.
Thursday around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He bailed on me last week.
Yeah, he had to go
and-
have fun with his friends. Fucking
Yeah,
asshole.
I know. What's wrong with him? Going
I
around
mean,
having-
come on now. I mean, you know, he's a young man. He's got a lot of piss and vinegar in him. He's still got baby nuts. He's trying to.
the baby nuts.
Yeah. So where are they? Are they up behind the boa there? Or?
Yeah. They're actually tucked back. It's a special thing that the LGBTQ plus, especially the T community, is good at. So his younger generation is real up on the people there.
Oh, you know what? I mean, gladly. That's good, but it's oh, you know we love you, Shadow. No homo though.
Yeah. He's a good sport.
He
Because
takes a lot of shit.
he's a little bit like lofty with some of his takes. You'll love him, but it's like, buddy, we got.
But he's you know, he might be Shadow, but he's our Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. Yeah.
Dog
That
fire.
said, thank you guys so much for hanging out and coming. This has been a lot of fun. Had a great talk today, and we will hopefully see you guys next weekend or sooner, depending on what else fucking everybody's got going on. Come check out everybody's stuff. We got all the links in the chat or in the description. That said, remember everybody, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Good night, everybody.
See ya.